Welcome to the Foresters pregame show presented by Coastal Copy, and we are joined by Bill Pintar today. Coach, we've seen a couple game cancellations. How do you navigate the situation?
Not very well. I was just telling you, I'm a little grumpy. It's really hard to. We have to go down there probably on a Monday, and they play at the Great Park, and they're filled up with a bunch of showcases. We don't have the liberty to ask them to come up here and play here because we have a football coach. We have a football coach that, he runs his program here and he schedules his summer program here. So it's very difficult. And, we tried really hard yesterday. I mean, we had a part driven down that they said they had the part driven down from Santa Barbara. And it wasn't the right part. So we had to go buy one, and we still thought we were going to have time enough to get there. But then we had a malfunction. Folks, these buses today, if you don't have enough oil or there's a malfunction in your cooling system or any system, the computer shuts the bus down. I'm from the old school. You drive that sucker till it dies, right? And I told our driver to keep driving. He said, I can't help it. The computer just shut the engine down. So, and we're trying to work it out with, we're trying to work it out right now with also Urban Academy. Mm-hmm. And they were willing to come up and play us for that. So it's a good question, and it's difficult, but we'll get them in.
And on to the next question, Coach. 8 games have been played so far with your squad. Who has stood out to you so far?
I'm really glad. Our catcher, Cole Chamberlain, he didn't catch a lot because of Galvan, another ex-Forester that was on the University of Texas, got hot with the bat. And he's doing a good job receiving, and he's got some power, and he's been doing good. But I have to tell you, on the offensive side of it, I could name all 12 guys because they're all really doing well. Leading off, Maddox Mendino, and then he steals bases. He does all kinds of stuff. And then you go to Keel. Your handwriting's as bad as mine. And then you go to Keel, and he's a threat to steal every time he gets on his base. Moo Mao is as steady as the day is long. He had a nice hitting streak going, and then he got another one going. And plus, he's a really good defender. And then in the 4-hole, Clark is not your typical 4-hole hitter. But we want guys on base, and he's been getting the job done. I think, and then you keep going on down. You got Clark in the 4-hole, and then we got Chamberlain, who I just talked about, and then Sawyer Fall. He's hitting for a high average. He's doing good, and he's both right-handed and left-handed. He can play second base, shortstop, first base, and he plays the outfield. So he's been very valuable. And then Hoover we knew was injured. He got off to a slow start, but he hadn't hit in 6 to 8 weeks because of the hand injury, and he had surgery. And he's going to come on. And then Klepich and Rulli. If you look at our lineup, you got Klepich and Rulli hitting 8 and 9. They're hitting 2 and 3 on most teams. So anyway, and then the pitching I wasn't very happy with in the beginning. I've been very happy with Crodel, and I liked what I saw with Rarick. But we were walking a lot of people. And we've kind of had a conversation about that. And we've been pretty good the last couple of games. In fact, we threw 2 shutouts in a row, right? Mm-hmm. And so our pitching is going to get better. And we're going to see some new guys today. You're going to see Barfield out of Oklahoma. You might see our new closer, Ethan O'Neill. I thought the kid from TCU the other day that came in and threw 3. He threw 3 innings. He did a really good job.
Zach James?
Zach James was outstanding. Kaimi, much better his last outing. He was controlling the strike zone down at the bottom end of the strike zone. He was great. So we're coming on, and it's they're doing a good job trying to adjust and getting through the first inning. The first time out. Their first time out, sometimes they're still young guys, and they get nervous and overthrow and stuff like that. So that's when we had a little bit of a problem. But you got to look at Easton Toomas. He really struggled at Arroyo Grande, and then the other day he was lights out. So pitching's always been the strength of the Foresters, and I think it will emerge again. But we also have an offense that can score runs. I don't know what our average run per game is. I wish I did know their average run per game. We have a program that doesn't even do that. The league makes us use that, so I hope the league's not listening to me right now. But anyway, yeah. So I'm really pleased. And then the coaching staff, we were talking around. Our offense has established their identity in the first 2 weeks of the season. It usually takes 3 or 4 weeks. But we have an identity. We're going to run, and we're going to move guys, and we're going to create havoc on the base pass. And we have 22 stolen bases, I think, right now. That's 3 a game. It could be better. I was kind of surprised that number was so low, but that also, we had a bunch of stolen bases in that game against Royal that is not in the books yet. So, yeah, I'm really happy with this group, and the chemistry in the dugout is really good. They really get along. You've been on the bus rides. They're having fun. And that's what it's all about. So,
well, Coach, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and we're looking forward to a fun homestand this week.
Got only 2 questions. I'm an easy interview, right? I'll see you, buddy.
First pitch coming up right after this.
And I want to thank Coastal Copy for their support and their sponsorship. They do a great job, folks.
Welcome to Santa Barbara for CCL Baseball on the Forster Network. The Forsters will begin a 5-game homestand as they welcome in the Orange County Riptide for a midweek matchup. I'm Hunter Shoemaker alongside Nate Martin, and we welcome you to Eddie Matthews Field. Well, Nate, both teams playing just their first game of the week with the cancellation tomorrow, with the Stars having some trouble with their bus getting down to Orange County. But today, a very similar feel to opening day.
Yeah, it's the same picture the Stars face. It's Tommy McGuire, the junior from Grand Canyon, and he was very impressive against the Stars on opening day. 4 scoreless innings, only 2 hits allowed, so really solid debut, and we'll be seeing him in the bottom half of this first inning. In a way, we're seeing a pitcher for the Forsters make his debut, technically, as the game that he previously appeared in is not officially ended. Bryce Navarre started that game against Arroyo Seco last Tuesday. Pretty solid job of limiting the hits. Only one hit allowed, 4 strikeouts. But, something that we did hear Pintard mention was that, walks were a problem for this team, and he walked 6 batters in 2 1/3 innings. But it's something that the pitching staff has addressed as the week's gone on, and I'm excited to see what Navarre can do. If he can limit those walks, I think he'll have a very successful day on the bump.
And here's the line today for the OC Riptide. Bradley Navarro will lead off. Tyler Holland to bat second. Jake Evans to bat third. Johnny Rodriguez, the former Stir, to bat fourth. Reed Montgomery in the 5 spot. Zach Crandall in the 6th spot to bat 7th. Carter Dans to bat 8th. Marcos Rosales. And then Riley Hunsaker in the 9th spot with, of course, Tommy McGuire getting the start on the hill for the OC Riptide. Fantastic day in Santa Barbara. Right when the sun rose earlier today, not a cloud in the sky. And here is Navarro and Bryce Navarre on the hill. The first pitch is chopped over to Easton Muma, but it's going to be Navarre, the pitcher, and the throw to first will be in time. So 1 pitch and 1 out to start off the outing for Bryce Navarre.
Quick outs, exactly how you want to start the game, Hunter. 1 pitch, 1 down. Just really opens you up as the game goes down later on in the innings.
That's going to bring up Tyler Holland for the OC Riptide. And here's the defense for the Stirs. Easton Mumon will be at third. Addison Klepsch at short. Easton Rulli at second. Sawyer Farr at first. Cole Chamberlain is doing the catching. First pitch from Holland will be in there for a strike. 0-1. The outfield today for Santa Barbara a little bit different. Caleb Hoover is in left. Max Mandino back in center. And Brenton Clark out in right. The 0-1 is popped up. Shallow right field. Clark moves in. Rulli moves out. And it's going to be the right fielder, Clark, to make the squeeze. And Bryce Navarre, 2 quick outs to start his outing.
The Razorback Holland hits one right into shallow right. And his teammate in college, Brenton Clark, fields that one cleanly. Great start on the bump, forcing some weak contact by Bryce Navarre through 2 outs.
That will bring up the third baseman today for OC, Jake Evans, to stand in bases clear. 2 down in the opening frame. First pitch to Evans will miss upstairs for ball 1. Of course, these 2 teams were supposed to meet yesterday down in Orange County, but if you heard our pregame show with Bill Pintard, he explained the whole situation. Our first question that we asked him, here's the 1-0. It's going to miss high for ball 2, but the Stirs got stranded just outside of Oxnard with a problem with their bus. Part came down, but got fixed, and then another issue, and ended up not being able to play the game. Here comes the 2-0 to Evans. It'll be ball 3.
It's been a very weird start to the season in terms of game cancellations and some games not being finished. Obviously, the game last Thursday against the Barons got postponed. The game on last Tuesday against Arroyo Seco delayed.
That's going to be ball 4. So the 2 quick outs for Bryce Navarre. Only needed to throw 3 pitches to record the first 2 outs. A 4-pitch walk to Jake Evans to put the first base runner aboard for OC, but it's a pretty good way to explain it. An odd way to start the year. The 2 cancellations and 2 reschedules, and then a game that got called for essentially darkness when the lights turned off in Pasadena. And here is now Johnny Rodriguez, the former Forester, to bat from the left side. Man on, 2 down in the opening inning. First pitch will miss upstairs, so 5 straight balls from Navarre, who's got a pretty deep mix when you look at his pitch selection, what he's got in his arsenal, Nate.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things he can go to. You're mainly going to see that 4-seam fastball from him, but we've seen him try and mix in a sweeper early in this game.
Here comes the 1-0. Have to wait. Back in safely is Jake Evans. In case you're wondering, no stolen bases on the year for Evans, even though OC have 17 stolen bags on the year, and the Stirs have 22. And Navarre's going to receive some new ammunition out on the hill. Second appearance for the starting left-hander. And there have been some new additions as well to this roster, especially in the pitching staff arsenal for Bill Pintard.
Yeah, he said that we're probably going to see some later today. You think about Jane Barfield from Oklahoma and Ethan O'Neill from Nevada.
This is a 2-0. It's foul back, 2-1.
But I'm really excited to see Navarre with Chamberlain behind the plate right there. They both, this combination played together at Texas. both got some pretty decent run last season as well. So very familiar with each other as they head into the summer together.
Count is now 1-1. Next pitch is going to hit Rodriguez. He's going to duck under and ends up hitting him. Looked like right at the back end of the helmet, but Rodriguez is aboard, hit by a pitch to put 2 on, 2 out here in the first. Good to see Rodriguez go down to first base, no problem.
Definitely really good to see that. That was a problem in the game that Navarre previously pitched in on Tuesday against Arroyo Seco, where there was 4 different hit by pitches, none of them thrown by Navarre. But it's definitely it's a couple days off for these teams, maybe some rust that's gonna have to be shaken off in the early innings.
So here's Reed Montgomery, 2 on, 2 out in the first. Chance for Riptide to put up the first runs of this ball game. In at the plate, but safe is Jake Evans, and an RBI single from Montgomery, and OC take the first lead of this game.
2-out rally for the Riptide to start it off. That's really tough for the Foresters. You got 2 really quick outs, then you walk a runner, hit the next guy with a pitch, and then the first pitch to the 5-hole hitter, Montgomery. Hard hit single up the middle. Mandino's got a really good arm out in center, but just couldn't get the throw in time. Really unlucky so far for the Sturs.
So here's Zach Crandall. First pitch will miss for ball 1. First and second, the last 3 have all reached base. In Orange County, you look back to the first time that these 2 teams played, only had 2 hits through the entire contest. Combined shutout between Barrett and Camarillo. The 1-0's in there to even the count at 1, and that was a big thing, especially in that first game, Nate. Offense between the 2 teams, only 8 hits, but the Forester pitching was exceptional with 2 gauchos, Barrett and Camarillo.
And already the Riptide have got more runs on the board today than they did in that game.
And here comes the 1-1 to Zach Crandall. That's down, ball 2.
But as we mentioned, despite there being some similarities, it's a very different game. For one, it's in Santa Barbara, so obviously the Riptide hitting in the top of the inning, Santa Barbara in the bottom, and then it's in the day. We're not going to be seeing the moon out tonight. It's going to be all sun and blue skies.
2-1 is roped outside of third base to even the count at 2. Crandall, not as many plate appearances and ABs as his teammates, but he has done very well to get on base. A couple walks, 3. 4 ABs so far this season, but he's got aboard with 3 walks. Man, batting at the 6th spot today for Brian Evans, first-year head coach for the OC Riptide. A run in for OC, first and second, 2 gone. Comes the 2-2. And called strike 3. Good breaking ball from Navarre. And Crandall goes down looking. OC do strike first. We go to the bottom of the inning. Orange County on top of the Foresters by a run.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Bottom of the first inning, OC lead by a run, and their starting right-hander will be Tommy McGuire, the man who started opening day against the Foresters just a couple weeks back. It'll be his 3rd start, 8 innings pitched so far, 5 hits, and only 1 run allowed for Tommy McGuire so far.
But the number that stands out to me more than that 1 run is actually the 1 walk. It's really tough as a college pitcher at this level to limit your walks, and that's exactly what McGuire's done through 8 innings. Only 1 walk, really, 7 strikeouts as well, so it's a good ratio. He's a good arm. He only allowed 2 hits to the Sturs. But as we said, it's a different setting. It's a lot hotter here today than it was back in Irvine that night. And it's obviously in the day. But I think the Foresters, they've said it themselves, they hit better when the sun is out compared to under the lights. So really excited to see what this lineup can do. He's going to be facing Mandino, Kill, and Muma, who Pintard seems to kind of hold in as the top of the order. That is ideally what he's trying to go for here. And then Brenton Clark in the cleanup spot as well. So really solid top of the order here for the Foresters.
And then after Mandino, Kill, and Mumon, the middle 3 will be Clark, Colt Chamberlain, and Sawyer Farr. The bottom 3 will be Caleb Hoover, Addison Klepsch, and then Easton Ruley. Sturs will face an early deficit with Orange County pushing in a run with 2 gone in the top half of this frame. And Mandino, who bats from the left side, will lead off for Santa Barbara, first of 5 games this week at home. Strike 1 on Maddox, who's hitting .345 this season, slugging over .400. And the Sturs as a whole have drove in 50 runs. 47 runs batted in on the flip side for OC Riptide when you look at their offensive production. Here comes the 0-1. That's going to clip the outside edge for strike 2 on Maddox.
Yeah, 4-pitch mix from McGuire, 4-seam cutter, sweeper, and splitter. That fastball just going to be reaching the low 90s.
Here comes the 0-2 to Mandino. That's down in the dirt. The defense today for OC, Zach Crandall will be the catcher. Jake Evans is at third. Tyler Holland at short. Marcos Rosales at second. Johnny Rodriguez at first. Bradley Navarro in left. Reed Montgomery in center. And Riley Hunsaker out in right. Ball and 2 strikes for Mandino. That's going to miss well high and away. 2-2.
And we know this is a very, Bill Pintards really like to go with a lefty-heavy lineup to start games. Really keep an eye on this splitter from McGuire to the lefties.
We'll see what he throws here. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Sam Mandino down on strikes. 1 away in the first. Looked like he went to the cutter that time, Nate, to get Mandino for the first out.
Yeah, really nice cutter right there, McGuire. It is his primary off speed. And it's really technically a fastball with some movement, but really nice job by McGuire to get the swing and miss there.
That's going to bring up Terrence Kill for Santa Barbara. Base is clear, 1 out. That first pitch will miss inside for Terrence, hitting .383 this season. On base percentage of over .400. Still a relatively new addition to this team for the Sturs. And here comes the 1-0 to the DH. That's strike 1. Good delivery at 82 from McGuire. Ball and a strike to Terrence. To follow Terrence will be Easton Mumal. Brenton Clark in the hole at this point in the inning. Sturs trail by a run. The 1-1 will miss inside. Ball 2.
Kill's taken a couple hit-by pitches this season, had 1 last game, and the thing is, when he gets on base, he can be a problem. Had a really good job stealing bags, a lot of speed.
2. Third baseline in the left field for a base hit. Third baseline in the left field for a base hit. Terrence takes a wide turn, and he is going to second base. A 1-out knock, and the Sturs have their first base runner, Kill aboard.
Now batting number 23, Easton.
Yeah, the third baseman there for the Riptide. Evans tried to field it, but just kind of got away from him, headed towards the bullpen, and Kill with that speed, just an easy stand-up double. Jersey staying clean at the top of the week. I'm sure players are pretty happy about that.
Now here's Easton Muma, and the Sturs look to respond after conceding a run at the top half of the inning. First pitch to Easton will be in there for a strike at 81. And Easton, what a year it has been so far, hitting .440 on base percentage of .563. In case you're wondering, he's brought home 2 runs, and he's looking for 3. But Terrence out at second. The 0-1 is chopped to left side, long run for Hall, and it gets past him. Terrence Kill will be held up at third base by Steve Shuck, and back-to-back knocks for the Sturs with one out in the inning.
Easton Muma, the single machine. All of his hits this season been for singles, and that's just a really valuable skill to have as your three-hole hitter. You know, just be able to drive in hits, get on base, and move the runners around. You got runners in the corners here for Brenton Clark, who, as we know, very solid cleanup batter.
Clark, an average of .474, on base percentage of over 600 through the first 8 games being played for Santa Barbara. It's first and third, one down. First pitch will miss down low for ball 1, as the Sturs will look to tie it up, and Clark's done very well this year.
And, you know, kind of going back to the similarities and differences between the last game, you know, we mentioned how the Riptide didn't score a run at all last time these two teams played, scored a run on the top of the inning. Already matched the hit total against McGuire in just a third of an inning here.
A good pick by Zach Crandall, the catcher, to keep the runners at bay. It's now 2-0 in favor of Brenton Clark. And the man who started first game against the Sturs, I should say, McGuire, going 4 innings, giving up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, struck out 2 the first time that these two teams played. 2-0 is on the outside edge, and the runner is going to take off to second. Heads up base running by Easton Muma, and it's now second and third, just a single out.
Crucially eliminates the double play ball. Just really smart baseball by Easton Muma over there at first. You know, if a team likes to steal that time, it was just way too easy.
A late strike called by our plate umpire, so it's now 2-1 to Clark, second and third. That's going to miss away ball 3. After Clark is Cole Chamberlain. Santa Barbara entering today 6-1. Unofficially, they did have a game that was postponed in Pasadena and OC 5-4. Here comes the 3-1 to Brenton. That's away, ball 4. Bases will be loaded, only a single out for Cole Chamberlain. And what a chance for the catcher who, just like Terrence Kill, a relatively new addition, came in the middle of last week, and he's going to stand in bases loaded.
But he's already gotten a lot of praise from Bill Pintard. You heard him on the pregame show. Hunter asked him, you know, who's impressed you so far this season? He was like, oh, the first name that came to his mind was Cole Chamberlain. He's like, this guy's got a lot of power. His first hit almost went out of the ballpark, just off the fence. And I'm really excited what the lefty can do here with bases loaded.
The first pitch will miss away at the knees at 82 to Cole. Kill at third, Muma at second, Brenton Clark at first, only a single out. Chamberlain has brought home 2 runs so far this year. In 222 in a very small sample size. Over 400 on-base percentage. Here comes the 1-0. That's away, ball 2. So after McGuire strikes out the first batter, the double, the single, and the walk to Clark, and Chamberlain finds himself ahead 2-0.
Yeah, I've been really impressed, Hunter, about how the Foresters have approached these at-bats. They've taken a lot of really tough pitches to take, and they've been right every single time. Really good plate discipline so far from Santa Barbara today.
Here comes the 2-0 to Chamberlain. That's away, ball 3, 87. And remember, Tommy McGuire, through 8 innings pitched so far, has only allowed a single run, 5 hits, and only 1 walk. And the Sturs testing the right-hander who plays for GCU in this opening inning. Look to tie it up and take the lead here in the first. It's 3-0 for Chamberlain, nowhere to put him. That's in there, 3-1. Fastball 88 from McGuire.
Yeah, you're not going to be swinging there on a 3-0 after he walked the previous batter, but now 3-1. Probably going to get something similar here. Definitely a hitter's count.
Jake Evans, the third baseman, is playing a fraction in. Rodriguez holds on to the man at first. Comes the 3-1. That's away, ball 4, and we have ourselves a tied game. Terrence Kill from third base will score the first run of the day for the Sturs. An RBI walk for Cole Chamberlain, and the bases remain loaded for Sawyer Farr.
And already a quick mound visit for McGuire. This is a position that he really hasn't gotten himself into this season at all. He's been really effective, 4 scoreless innings against the Foresters on opening day. His other start, 4 innings as well, only allowed 3 hits and 1 walk, only allowed a run as well. So he's been really effective to start the season, but here, under early pressure, it's a quick mound visit, perhaps just to settle him in. But now, bases are still loaded. You're still at 1 out, and there's a lot of dangerous hitters you still have to face before you bring up the top of the order. Sawyer Farr especially has been absolutely raking this year. 393 average, 500 slugging. So he got some solid pop on the switch hitter.
He's brought home 7 runs this season. Muma at third, Clark at second, Chamberlain at first. 1 run in, and the Sturs will look to take the lead. And McGuire looking to get out of this inning as soon as possible. The man on the hill for the Riptide. Comes the first pitch to Sawyer. That's away. Ball 1, so back-to-back walks, and starts off the plate appearance for Sawyer with a ball away.
And again, another really impressive take, first pitch.
And this inning started with a strikeout. 2 hits and then 2 walks.
I mean, at this point of the inning where you've seen what he's been giving hitters the entire time, you just kind of got to wait for your pitch, Because most of the time he's been missing his pitches, and you're eventually going to get something that's right for you.
1-1. That's high and away. Ball 2. In case you're wondering, to follow Sawyer will be Caleb Hoover. And even Bill Pintard, Nate mentioned this in his lineup 1 through 9. There's really no drop in production all the way through. Every guy is in their own form and own fashion has been really critical to Santa Barbara's success early in this season. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Good take, missing down the way. Ball 3.
And something that he also talked about is how the team's kind of found an identity. And this is it right here, passing the bats around, singles, walks, patient at-bats. And it's been really working well for the lineup so far. And it's bottom of the first working well here.
Nowhere to put Sawyer. Here comes the 3-1 pitch from McGuire. Ball 4, 3 straight walks, and Santa Barbara has now taken the lead. Sawyer Farr brings home his 8th run of the season.
Number 14, Caleb.
2-1 Santa Barbara in the first.
This is a classic Santa Barbara Foresters inning. Walks, bases loaded, past the bats. And that's another mound visit. I wouldn't be surprised if we see McGuire pull. This is a very, shocking performance for a guy who's been really effective to start the year, but it's exactly what's happening.
And the Riptide are going to the bullpen. We'll step aside. Sturs lead 2-1. Bases loaded, 1 out in the first.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Back in Santa Barbara, bottom of the first inning, already inducing a pitching change are the Forster bats. Josh Hickey, the right-hander who plays just down the road at Westmont College, will take over after Tommy McGuire only went a third of an inning, gave up 2 hits, walked 3, and struck out 1.
You have 3-pitch mix here from Hickey. You're mainly going to see the 4-seam fastball. Might have a bit of movement on it, but pretty straight on, and then a slider and a changeup. Keep an eye on that velocity drop, though, between the fastball and the slider. Nearly 15 miles an hour difference. That's going to be really tough to adjust to as the batter.
And the Stir bats have worked 3 straight walks to induce the pitching change. 5 straight have reached base. Bases remain loaded. Only a single out, 2 runs in, and the batter will be Caleb Hoover. Josh Hickey, the first pitch will miss down and away at 83 for ball 1.
Hoover really excelled in these situations on Sunday. Reached all 6 times, 2 for 2, drove in some runs, got some runs himself.
Fantastic in the last game against the Philippines. Next pitch will miss upstairs in 2 straight balls to start off this plate appearance in this batter for Josh Hickey. And after Tommy McGuire walked 3 straight, you do not want to give a favorable count to Caleb Hoover. Just got the team's lone home run this year. 2-0. Drilled into center field and falling fast for a base hit. Clark will score, and held up at third is Chamberlain. RBI single for Hoover, and Santa Barbara now lead 3-1 in the first.
I was just got to say, Hunter, the slider from Hickey was kind of hanging a bit. You really got to be careful against those against the power lefty bat like Hoover, and Hoover took advantage of that time, just drove one into the center field, scored a run, and keeps passing the bats.
Here's Addison Klepsch. Bases remain loaded still. Just 1 out. The slider misses from Hickey for ball 1.
And that's really where it starts for the Riptide. They have to locate their first pitch, but they just haven't been able to do that. It's probably been 7 batters in a row who have gotten a first pitch ball.
The 1-0 will clip the upper half of the zone. Ball 2. And the last 6 men have all reached base for the Stirs, and Klepsch hitting .333, on base percentage of .500 so far this season. 3 runs in. 2-0 pitch will miss inside. All 3. Rather, 2-1 now.
Definitely notable here. Hickey was supposed to be the guy that started yesterday's game, so he's definitely was a hot arm. I'm not surprised that they now realizing that they probably pulled McGuire so early.
Comes the 2-1 pitch to Klepsch. And over to the first baseman. They're coming home. Get the force out down to first base. No throw from Crandall, but they do get the force out. Chamberlain is retired at the plate for the second out, and Klepsch aboard on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, I was surprised they didn't try and turn the double play there, Hunter. I mean, of course a run comes in, but it's still so early. You have to trust your bats to be able to make those up. Instead, it's still bases loaded. Granted, 2 outs now, but the Forcers have really excelled in 2-out hitting situations.
And the batter is now Easton Ruley. First pitch is over to the third baseman, Evans, and just will trot over and touch third base to record the force out. The Stirs see 9 batters in the first. They bring home 3 to the second we go. Santa Barbara on top.
Attention fans, make sure.
Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. Into the second inning, Santa Barbara lead 3-1 over OC. And Bryce Navarre will face the bottom of the order coming up. First pitch will miss upstairs to the DH Carter Dans, ball 1. Dans this season hitting .286, but slugging .571. He's going to fall behind 0-2 to the starting left-hander rather, Bryce Navarre, and Santa Barbara with a nice 3-1 lead after great response after conceding first run of this ball game in the last.
Yeah, definitely really good job, and that's something the Foresters have done a lot this year is whenever the other team puts up runs on the board, they respond right away. That's a really good trait to have.
The 1-1 sweeper will miss away. It's ball 2. So Dans, Rosales, and Hunsaker coming up for OC. 2-1. Popped up and over the third base dugout, out of play. 2-2.
Crucially, I think this part of the order is a good one, a favorable one for Navarre. It's two lefties. You usually favor the southpaw pitcher in that situation. And that's a really good thing to go with, especially for someone like Dans, who in his last game struck out 3 times against Arroyo Seco.
2-2 is down for ball 3. Count is now full to the leadoff man.
I mean, I will say definitely a very tight zone today from the home plate ump.
Rosales will be next. Start off the second inning, the 3-2 pitch to Dans is rolled over to first and out of play. Foul. Remains 3-2. Remember, Bryce Navarre only needed 3 pitches to record the first 2 outs. A walk, a hit, batter, and then RBI single for OC Riptide kept the inning alive to plate their first run. Navarre, another 3-2 pitch to Carter Dans. In a left center field, Caleb Hoover out in left field today, camps out under and will make the squeeze, 1 out in the second.
Yeah, Hoover out there in left. We've mainly only seen him at first or as a DH, so Pintard experimenting around with some of the defensive positions. Usually you'd maybe see, Sawyer Farr and him trade position. Farr currently at first, but, it's showing that, Pintard trusts these guys and, is helping them develop more positions before they head back to college in the fall.
So 1 out, bases clear. The first pitch to Rosales is in there for a strike at 78 from Navarre. Also, at that point, we saw Easton Rulli out in the outfield 2 games back, and I believe Easton said it's been quite a number of years since he's been in the outfield. Here's the 0-1, painted perfectly on the outside edge at 69 miles an hour, 0-2.
I'd imagine it's like riding a bike, though. Pick it right back up.
Navarre and his deep arsenal of pitches winds up the 0-2. High fastball, ball 1.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely said he's trying to. I think that's the great thing about summer ball is it gives pitchers like Navarre kind of figure out what pitches they really like to go into. He said last week that he was trying to work on his splitter.
The 1-2 missing down, 2-2.
I've seen a lot of really of that slower stuff with a lot more movement. His sweeper and curveball today, and it's been working pretty solidly.
Rosales fell behind. A couple takes from the second baseman for Orange County. 1 out, 2-2 pitch. Down low for ball 3. Count full and well done from the number 8 hitter to get himself back in it. It's now 3-2.
Second batter this inning that Navarre's gone to a full count.
And here comes the payoff pitch to Rosales. High fly ball in right center. Maddox Mandino will slide over into the right center field. Yep, and makes the squeeze. 2 up, 2 down for Navarre in the second.
Nicely hit ball off the bat of Rosales, but Mandino, a lot of speed out in the center and made that look pretty simple out there. Great play by the outfielder.
And that's going to bring up the number 9 batter, Riley Hunsaker. He's had a very nice season. He's hitting .333, OBP of .556, batting out of the 9 hole. And a first pitch strike dealt by Bryce, 0-1.
A guy, who's got two-way capabilities. He's mainly been used as a pitcher this season with the Riptide.
Next pitch will miss away, 1-1. And Orange County entering today 2-game win streak, 5-4. This is their 10th game being played this season, the 9th for the Sturs. 1-1 is going to be down. Both two, when you look around the CCL in the South, the Sturs still unofficially on top of the Southern Division with 6-1. That game suspended to Arroyo Seco, who is right behind the Sturs, also with Conejo at 5-3. 2-1 inducing the swing, 2-2. Nasty pitch from Navarre.
Good thing for the Foresters, you know, is that they have some buffer. They're a game and a half ahead of the Saints. And the teams that you're playing this week, you're going to be taking on the San Diego Waves later on, and they're 2.5 games behind you. Bombers as well. That was a beautiful strike 3 swinging.
And Navarre only has to face 3 in the second. Picks up his second K and go to the bottom of the inning. Santa Barbara by 2.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Back at Santa Barbara High School, Eddie Matthews Field. Sturs leading 3-1 over the Orange County Riptide going into the bottom of the second. And the Sturs will have the top of the order scheduled. And what a first inning it was. 3 straight walks and 2 hits, coming with just a single out, loading up the bases a number of times.
A first inning that felt very similar to the last time we saw the Foresters on Sunday against the Philippines. They scored 4 runs. They got on base, bases loaded for multiple batters in a row, and they were able to take advantage of that. Able to do that again, and they had a very effective second inning in that game, too. A couple more runs came across the plate.
So Mandino kill Muma up in this inning. First pitch swinging in the left. Navarro is there, goes back. 1 pitch and 1 out. Mandino is retired. First out in the second for Josh Hickey.
That's exactly what needed to be done by Hickey. Get quick outs. And 1 pitch, 1 out. No better than that for the Riptide.
So the base is clear. 1 away for Terrence Kill. First time up for Terrence, a double down the left field line and scored the first of the 3 runs, and he sees a first pitch down and away for ball 1. Kill's been a huge addition to this team as this ball is rolled foul just down the third baseline, 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, talk about massive addition. You mentioned it. OPS just a tick below 900. He's done a good job stealing bases. Aggressive on the bags.
Comes the 1-1. That's down. Remember, Josh Hickey took over after Tommy McGuire only recorded a single out in the opening inning. And all 3 runs will be charged to Tommy McGuire. Give up 2 hits and 3 walks. And he faced first 6 batters. 1-1 to Holland at short. Good throw and a good play by the shortstop. 2 up, 2 down for Josh Hickey in the second.
Yeah, and that throw had to come in quick. Kill was out like a bullet, but just couldn't beat it. And that'll bring up Muma, who got on base last time. First pitch swinging the front on a single.
2 up, 2 down for Hickey. And here is Muma to bat from the left side. First pitch is in there at 83. That's strike 1.
Muma had a really solid game last time out before, Pintard kind of pulled him to just get some rest. Reached all 3 times, including a single, had a couple of runs and a stolen base.
Down the left field line, slicing, and that ball is fair. Down into the corner, scooped up by Navarro, and cruising into second with 2 out is Easton Muma.
It's his first extra base hit of the year, and what a time to get it. 2 outs, sent it into opposite field. That is a great piece of hitting by Easton Muma, and continues the hot start to the season, continues the hot start to the game, 2 for 2 with a double and a single.
That's going to bring up Brenton Clark. Worked a walk first time up and scored the 3rd run of the first inning. Santa Barbara have a chance to tack on 1 more. Muma at second, and the wind blowing right to left currently. Eddie Matthews Field, a little bit different compared to the prevailing breeze. Brenton squared around to bunt, takes a ball away. Santa Barbara extend this 3-1 lead. Josh Hickey looks to keep it a 2-run deficit. He's going to miss there. Ball 2.
Clark doing a good job getting ahead in counts, getting himself favorable pitches. I wouldn't be surprised if you see another ball into the opposite field, just like Muma did.
That's where Brenton really had a lot of success in the first couple games. It felt like every hit was going down that left field line. Remarkable for Brenton. And at second, 2 out. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, fooled on the breaking ball, strike 1.
A lot of drop on that one from Hickey. I think caught Clark off guard.
A lot of break on that pitch from Hickey. Glares over to Easton at second. Comes to 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Same exact pitch, just a little bit more on the outside, and same exact result.
He picked up 2 quick outs to start off this second inning. Gave up the double to Easton. And here comes the 2-2 to the number 4 batter. Clark saws it off. Wasn't
going to get full the 3rd time, Hunter. Tried to get him with the exact same slider, but good job by Clark fouling that one off. It was a bit late on it. He's trying to send it into the opposite field, like we said.
What will Hickey go to here?
Wouldn't be surprised if he tries to speed him up.
Comes a 2-2. Chopped to short. Holland has to hold his ground. The throw to first in time. Muma had a 2-out double. He is stranded. We go to the 3rd, and Santa Barbara have a 3-1 lead over Orange County.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a 3rd-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
For Santa Barbara, Bryce Navarro back out for his second inning. He's going to face the top of the order. Bradley Navarro, Tyler Holland, Jake Evans coming up for OC with the Stars leading 3-1 going into the 3rd.
Yeah, top of the order that he had some good success with. Navarro and Holland, he retired on 3 pitches. But then Evans walked, kind of started a bit of a 2-out rally that scored 1 run, but he settled down since then, has retired 4 straight, 2 strikeouts. It's nice to see Navarro kind of settle in that second inning.
Second appearance of the year for the starting lefty. First pitch to Navarro is going to miss inside on the sweeper for ball 1. Navarro grounded back out to the hill. 1-3 first time up. That was after the first pitch. It's a 1-0. It's going to miss away for ball 2. Navarro has gone 11 for 21 so far this season. Fantastic start to the year with Orange County. 2-0. It's down for ball 3.
Yeah, slugging 900 as well. That's not usually the type of numbers you see from a leadoff guy.
Big stuff from the left fielder today. Batting in the top spot in the order, and he's ahead 3-0. Navarro finds a strike zone to get himself back in the count. 3-1.
Yeah, he leads the Riptide in runs, hits, average OBP, and slugging. He's been a monster.
And he works a walk. A leadoff walk for Bradley Navarro. He's aboard for the first time today to set the table for Tyler Holland in the 3rd. That's the second walk of the day given up by Navarro. The hit batter, just to see through the first 10 batters, I should say. And here is Tyler Holland. Flew out to right. First time up against Navarro. Man at first, nobody out. First pitch, high and away, ball 1. With the defensive changes, we see Brenton Clark back in right. Max Mandino in center. Caleb Hoover in left. Just been a little bit of a carousel out there in the outfield this season. So many good players that Bill Pintard tries to work in various forms. 1-0. Inside for ball 2.
And it might not feel like it, but it's still really early into the season, relatively speaking. This is only game 9, as you mentioned, game 10 of a 35-game regular season, and then you head to Wichita. Still a lot to figure out. Of course, it's also just getting guys some rest if they haven't had enough rest already.
Absolutely, and especially your time with the Forsters, you do not want to run yourself into the ground and give way to any injuries. Absolutely, that's always one of the main prerogatives. See some live ABs, live pitching, but keep yourself healthy. 2-0. That's on the outside edge, 2-1.
Holland over here just took a redshirt year with Arkansas, who are, of course, still in Omaha. There's still a couple of Razorbacks we're waiting for. Their tournament comes to an end.
2-1, a big cut from Holland, 2-2.
And Holland's had we've seen our Razorback in the lineup, Brenton Clark, have a really nice start to the summer. Can't say the same for Tyler. He's only hitting 133 this year.
Man on, nobody out. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Navarro. That's down, full count.
Something that Chamberlain's impressed me a lot with this year. And, you hear Tard talk about his power, but his defense has been really good as well. It's such value to get defense at that position, to be able to block pitches in the dirt, and Chamberlain's provided that.
3-2 pitch is fouled back by Holland. Stays alive after Navarro gave up a leadoff walk to start off this inning. Another full count coming up. Jake Evans will be next for OC, who trailed by 2 runs. All 4 of the runs being scored in the opening inning. Another 3-2 pitch to the number 2 batter, Holland. Outside towards the third base on deck circle. Foul, Maine's 3-2.
Holland doing a good job forcing a long at-bat. Even if you get out here, this is a productive at-bat. This is probably 8th pitch, I'd say.
Another 3-2 pitch. That is ball 4 and 2 walks to start the inning for Orange County. Down to second, Navarro, Holland aboard for the first time.
Now batting number 49.
Tough position early in the 3rd. first two runners on, and Pintard out of a dugout to just have a quick word with his pitcher.
And we were told today in terms of arms that are available for Scott Murray, ideally we want Noah Waldeck to be the middle innings guy, come in with a fresh inning. If the Stars got into a bind, look to go to maybe Tyler Fino. Also, guys that are hot today, Gardino and the new lefty who just joined the team, Jaden Barfield. And it looks like just a conversation for the Hall of Fame coach and his team currently 6-1. One thing he has told us and during the pregame interviews, and if you haven't heard some of our pregame interviews, be sure to go back before or after the game finishes and listen. Today we heard from Bill Pintard, sometimes hear from players. The pitching coach depends on the day, but the walks have been hurting some of the pitching staff, especially earlier on in the year. It's gotten better the last couple games. 3 walks so far today.
Yeah, it's something that's definitely Navarre struggled with. He had 6 walks in the game against Arroyo Seco.
He'll look to bounce back here. Nobody out. He's got a great defense behind him, inducing some ground balls. He's going to face Jake Evans, who worked a walk and scored the lone run of the day for OC, but the Riptide threatening, looking to tie up this ball game. First pitch drilled into right, drifting back as Brenton Clark stays in the yard. There's out number 1, and from second, Navarro will go down to third. It is a productive out for Jake Evans, advances Navarro to third on the fly out into right.
I don't know if I call that a fly out. That was a hard hit ball. Job by Clark to get there in time. Solid throw, but really tough to get the runner out from right field over at third base.
Batter is now Johnny Rodriguez. Man, you're very familiar with this field, except it's probably a little bit odd playing on the other side of the infield, I should say. The other dugout, the former Forester to bat from the left side. First and third, 1 out. Fly ball into shallow left. Caleb Hoover will move in. Is it deep enough is the question. Navarro is going to be held up. Well done from Navarre and a good throw from Hoover. 2 down in the third, still first and third for OC.
And a crucial second out there. Hoover, that's a big play that he has to make in left field, and he made the snag. Again, ran up and held the runner at third.
And here is now Reed Montgomery as the first and only hit of the day for Orange County. It's an RBI single up the middle, and he will look to bring home his 8th run of the season with a 2-out knock to pull within 1. First pitch on the lefty-lefty matchup, high and in for ball 1.
Montgomery riding a 4-game hit streak. He's been a really solid batter for the Riptide here this season. Leads OC in RBIs.
Comes the 1-0 pitch. The bat goes flying on top of third base dugout and ricochets outside of your picture. Hits the railing on top of the first base dugout. And Bill Pintard takes off the cap, waves to everyone here as he got away from that flying lumber. That ball flew like a saucer on top of the fencing, which is on top of the roofing, and deflected down.
That almost hit Pintard. I was very close to hitting the coach. What a athletic play by the manager for the Foresters.
And everyone's okay in the dugout. That was strike 1 on Montgomery. First and third, 2 down. Comes the 1-1. Big swing and popping up is Chamberlain as the runner looked to take off. That's a big second strike and good heads-up play from the catcher.
When you're, golf and driving range and you just see someone just absolutely launch their club, it's hard to readjust after that, Hunter. And ugly swing and miss for Montgomery is down 0-2.
Here's the strike 2 pitch, swing and a miss. Bryce Navarre works around 2 walks. He's retired 3 straight. Great stuff from the starting lefty. To the bottom of the third we go. Sturs lead 3-1 over the Riptide.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local or for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. a proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
And to the bottom of the third inning, the Sturs lead 3-1 over the Orange County Riptide. Colt Chamberlain, Sawyer Farr, Caleb Hoover will be coming up for the Sturs as Josh Hickey remains in this ball game after taking over for Tommy McGuire, who only recorded a single out in the first. And Hickey has done well to limit the damage, and only when he has been on the hill allowed an RBI single to tack on the third run. But he has been relatively solid. Did give up a 2-out double to Moomaw, but he was stranded in the last inning.
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing for me is that he's not looked invincible. The Foresters have gotten a couple of hits off of him, and all it takes is him to start losing some of that touch with that big sweeping slider we've seen.
First pitch, swinging over to Rosales, and a good cover by the starting pitcher. I should say the relief pitchers. Chamberlain will ground out on the first pitch, 1 out in the third.
Yeah, really impressive cover there by Hickey. He like hustled over there, got to the bag in time.
That's going to bring up Sawyer Farr. Bases clear, 1 away. Worked a walk first time up and also brought home a run. Now 8 runs batted in this year for Sawyer. Great to see for the switch hitter. First pitch will miss away for ball 1. After Sawyer will be Hoover. Sturs with this nice 3-1 lead. The switch hitter from Texas A&M. Sees a 1-0 pitch. Back in the screen, 1-1.
Farr's been really impressive with his approach at bats this season. He's done a good job forcing longer at bats.
That's a big thing that Santa Barbara's done just as a whole. The entire team is so good just getting on base. Here's the 1-1. Inside for ball 2, and on base percentage, Nate, of .449 as an entire unit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, Hunter.
Average of .310, but a slugging of .368. Granted, a couple extra base hits in that Pasadena game that was called. Here's the 2-1 and a line over the head of the shortstop for a 1-out knock for Sawyer, and he is thinking too. It's going to be close, but he's going to slide in. A double for Sawyer, coming with 1 out in the third.
That's that part of the reason why that slugging is low is because they've been getting a lot of singles, and it's, maybe it's just because they haven't been as aggressive running on hits right there. And Sawyer Farr says, screw that, I'm just going to take off for 2. That's a really nice play. Trusting his speed, slides in safe. Hit into the outfield, probably scores Farr here.
And the third double of the day on 5 hits. So just talking about slugging, that's going to buff the team.
Changing some narratives here, Hunter.
Here's now Caleb Hoover, and it's second 1 out in the third. First pitch bends in there nicely at 71 from Hickey. Strike 1.
Hoover should be noted. This is the first arm that Hickey faced. This is the first batter that Hickey faced, and Hoover got a hit off of him, a really nice single up into center field.
Here comes the 0-1. Going back to that breaking ball. That is ball 1, and that was the 3rd RBI of the year for Caleb. 3 straight batters, which brought home a run with the bases loaded back in the first inning. Can Santa Barbara tack on a couple more? 1-1. Sprayed back Strike 2.
And it's something that, Bintard mentioned is how resilient Hoover's been. He came into this season having not hit in 6 to 8 weeks, and he's starting to find himself at his best game as a Stir, I would say, on Sunday, where he reached base all 6 times, at a home run earlier in the week as well.
Played down to second in, safe as far. And that last game for Caleb was a thing of beauty. Reaching base all 6 times, fantastic. The man now playing left field. This is ruled foul. Means 1 and 2. And the Stars on that first base side here at Eddie Matthews Field. The home park for Steve Schuck. He's been an associate head coach for a number of years. Been with the Stars since 2014. Holds things down. It's a third base coach. Another check down to the man at second. Far's out there. He's in, no problem.
I don't know if Holland was too ready for that one. He had to extend his arm to make that grab. He was still pretty far off the bag, and I think he's got to be careful with that.
Here comes the 5th pitch of the plate appearance to Caleb. And it's going to miss away. 2 and 2 for Hoover.
That is a tough pitch to take with 2 strikes.
Klepsch will be next for Santa Barbara. Man at second. Now time being called. And the Stars, so far this year, it's their 4th home game. They have won 3 straight ball games. In the game yesterday, which was supposed to be played against Orange County, the bus issues Santa Barbara. Just have to figure out the detailing when that game would be next played, or should say replayed. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss on the high fastball. Hoover down on strikes, 2 out in the 3rd. But even talking, Nate, with Bill Pintard prior to this game, still quite unsure about when that game, they're going to try to make up the game, when it would be played, whether it's going to be in Orange County or up here. I know Orange County with their great complex. Times, I should say, availability is difficult to reschedule a game on an off day. But here comes the first pitch now to Klepsch. It's ball 1.
I mean, you'd hope with the amount of fields they have out in that complex, you'd be able to find at least a field to play a game at. But of course, you want to do it in your home stadium, and I get that. It's a great ballpark. No pun intended.
Here comes a 1-0. That's down the dirt, and the runner's going to take off, play down at third. In safely is Sawyer Farr, and he is now 90 feet away from the 4th run of the day for Santa Barbara.
Heads up play by Farr. Saw the ball in the dirt and took off, and late to react to it was Crandall. That's got to come in quicker.
Klepsch ahead in the count 2-0. And at third, next pitch is in there. Nice delivery from Hickey. Strike 1. And by the way, that'll be scored as a wild pitch to advance Farr to third. Infield straight away. 2 down in the 3rd. 2-1 pitch is away. Ball 3 for Klepsch.
Yeah, Hickey, that was his first strikeout of a day, and he's a guy who's been really effective with his swing and miss stuff. He has the most strikeouts on the Riptide roster.
3-1 offering, and Klepsch is going to take a late strike call. Count now full for the number 8 batter.
Seen a couple times this season where the umpires kind of give their delayed calls. It definitely adds some drama and intrigue to the proceedings.
Klepsch today reached on a fielder's choice. Looks to bring home Farr at third. 3-2 pitch is high and away. Ball 4 and a 2-out walk for Addison. Keep the line moving to bring up Easton Ruley. First and third, 2 out in the 3rd.
That time, no delayed strike 3 call, and it'll bring up Rowley with 2 on, 2 out. Definitely a big situation here. You can really open up the game early, and Rowley's been a really effective guy at advancing runners, and especially earlier on in the season.
First and third, 2 away. First pitch is rolled to second. Rosales charges the throw to first, will be in time. A pair stranded on the bases, and the side retired by Hickey. We head to the fourth. Sturs lead 3-1 over OC. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. Into the fourth inning, and Bryce Navarre remains on the hill for the Sturs. The starter winds up his 54th pitch. It's a ground ball into the hole. Klepsch, tough play, and the throw to first will be late, but what an effort from the shortstop, Zach Crandall. The leadoff man is aboard with an infield single.
But nothing else that kept him at first. Maybe if that ball sneaks through, Crandall is thinking about going over to second. Really nice job by Klepsch sliding out, pressing on defense.
That is the second hit of the day for Orange County, their first since the first inning, which was Reed Montgomery to knock the first hit of the day. But here's the DH, Carter Dans. First pitch will miss away to the tall lefty. 0-1.
Part of a lineup that Navarre had some success with last time around. Got all 3 out, quick manner.
Check to the man at first. Sawyer Farr holds on to him, the first baseman today. I know we've talked about it defensively, how Farr's been the Renaissance man of many positions. At first today.
Pintard brought that up in the interview as well. He's been really impressed by it.
Big swing on the 1-0 pitch. 1-1 now to Dans.
It makes sense. It's such a valuable asset to have. We've seen him move around a lot. Obviously, we've seen a couple other guys in a lot of different positions. Easton Ruley's one that comes to mind. He's played in the outfield and in the infield.
Comes the 1-1. That's down for ball 2, and we could also now add Caleb Hoover to that list in the infield and outfield for at least one game this season. I should say, playing one game in the outfield when you're typically in the infield. 2-1 for Dans, who's 0 for 1 today. A fly out into left. And that's going to clip the inside edge. 2-2, and of course, that left fielder today is Caleb Hoover.
And he's already had to make a couple of really big plays. He cut off a runner at third in a crucial moment in the third.
Crandall back in safely after his leadoff infield single. There have been arms up, down, tossing in that right field bullpen for the Sturs.
Tyler Fino looks to be one.
2-2 for Carter Dans. Full count. The sweeper missing from Navarre. 3-2. Marcos Rosales will be next, and then Hunsaker. But a man at first. 3-2 pitch. That is down. Ball 4. First 2 men in the fourth will reach base for Orange County to bring up the number 8 batter, Rosales.
And again, very similar position to where he found himself. Let the first 2 runners on in the last inning and got out of it by retiring 3 straight.
And here comes Scott Murray, pitching coach for the Sturs out of that first base dugout. Nate, you were able to talk with Scott Murray a few days ago in a pregame interview, which was presented by Coastal Copy. What are the big takeaways when talking with Coach Murray?
I really like his style. I think he's just kind of lets the pitchers do what they need to do. He's not very, you see some guys under pressure where a guy, maybe with Navarre last time out, you're like, oh my goodness, this guy, his first appearance, he walked a lot of guys. He's already walked 2 straight in this last inning, and there's nobody out, 2 on, including a runner at third. But you trusted him to get those couple outs, and that's really important to have trust in your pitching staff. It builds confidence in them to be able to get outs, and I really appreciate that from Murray. I think that's a really great aspect to have in your coaching staff.
So first and third, Murray, the conference complete with Navarre. Batter is Rosales. Will miss away, and Easton Muma, the third baseman, is playing in at third base.
And I think that's exactly why Scott Murray just came out now. Maybe that's the second mound visit they had. Maybe you thought Pintar would come out to take the ball from him, but instead it's Scott Murray just settling him in and see how Navarre handles this.
Comes the 1-0, and Rosales will take a ball inside at 85, 2-0. So Crondall at second after a leadoff single. Dan's at first, followed up with a walk. Good count now for the number 8 batter. Comes the 2-0. That's down. Good keep by Chamberlain, 3-0. Riley Hunsaker will be next. And we were told Tyler Fino would be the man to come in mid-inning in a jam. Comes a 3-0 pitch. That's just on the outside edge at 86. Strike 1.
Big strike there. I try and pop him up here. Get a quick out, maybe a double play. Any out would take here if you're Bryce Navarre.
Here comes a 3-1 pitch to Rosales. Popped up and into foul ground, out of play over the first base dugout. On top of the first base dugout. Count now full. Second time the shingles have been getting ruffled up on the dugouts so far today.
Steve Shuck. Feel bad for him.
First and second, count now full, nobody out. Tying run at first base for OC, top of the 4th. Here comes a 3-2 pitch to Rosales. Check swing. It's going to be ball 4. Bases will be loaded. It looked like it might be a late strike call, but instead it will be a walk to Rosales. He's aboard for the first time to juice the bases for Riley Hunsaker.
I think a lot of people were expecting that to be a late strike 3 call, but instead, back-to-back walks, bases loaded, nobody out.
Hunsaker has 0 for 1. He struck out swinging against Navarre in the second. We'll take a first pitch strike. Good delivery from Bryce, 0-1. Nobody out in this inning. Bases loaded. The 0-1. That's high. 1-1. All 4 of the runs on the scoreboard came in the opening inning. Huge opportunity for Orange County. The 1-1 is down away, ball 2.
Hunsaker, solid start to his Riptide season, hitting .333. He's gotten on base over half of his at-bats. Really, really solid start to the year for the Cal Baptist Junior.
2-1 is in the dirt for ball 3. Nowhere to put him. Hunsaker is looking for his first RBI this summer. At third is Crondall. Dan's at second. Rosales at first. Remember, the Sturs were able to walk in 2 runs in the opening inning to get their runs on the board. 3-1 pitch. On the ground, up the middle. Here comes Rulli. Gets one at second to first. Will get away from the first baseman. 1 run is in, and 2 runs are coming in. On the ground ball by Riley Hunsaker.
Now batting number 26, Bradley.
That's really unlucky for Santa Barbara. Looked like a tailor-made double play, and then the throw just got away from Rowley. And especially for a guy like, Sawyer Farr at first base, not used to that position, that throw, it's got to be a little better in there. Instead, caught in an awkward position, and it scores another run more than it needed to.
So a tied ball game, and here is Bill Pintard, and the Foresters are going to the bullpen. Tied ball game, man at first base. Just a single out in the fourth. New arm entering for the Sturs.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Back in the fourth inning in Santa Barbara, OC have now tied this ball game 3 runs apiece, and the new arm entering for the Sturs will be Tyler Fino.
Yeah, it makes sense to go to Fino here. He's been really effective out of the pen. Done a good job of getting strikeouts, getting out of jams like this. And it's a big situation here. It's a tie game. Still only 1 out. And this is definitely the most pressure that he's come into, but he's handled every test that's been thrown at him. He went 9 up, 9 down against the MLB Barons a couple weeks ago. Really solid in his last performance as well. So really, really solid start to the year for the Horned Frog.
Bryce Navarre, the starter, going 3 1/3, 2 hits, responsible for the man at first. He walked 5 and struck out 3, the line for Navarre. To give way to Tyler Fino, he's going to face Barrow, the man, the top spot in the order for Orange County, to bat for the 3rd time today. 2 runs in for OC, tied ball game. First pitch is down. That's ball 1.
Something Fino's done a really good job of is limiting walks. He's only had 2 all season, 6 strikeouts.
Navarro today's 0 for 1 with a walk. Comes the 1-0, is lined, a broken bat. It's into center field for a base hit. Unsaker down to second. First and second, only a single out for OC, and they continue to keep the line moving here in the 4th.
There's some of that. Fino struggled with a bit. It's been the hits. He's allowed 5 entering today. And first batter face gets on with a broken bat single up the middle.
And the batter will now be Tyler Holland. He's also 0 for 1, a fly out to right, but has worked a walk. And Orange County will look to take their first, I should say, regain the lead that they had momentarily through a half inning. Scored first, but the Stars, through one, took a 3-1 lead. First pitch will miss high, upstairs for Holland, ball one. And Fino looking for a ground ball to get out of this inning. Comes the 1-0. That's in there. Ball and a strike.
Holland, he's been hot recently. He's had a couple doubles in his last games. Stolen bases.
1-1 pitch. That's well away. And the runners will advance 90 on the wild pitch. 2 now into scoring position. Unsaker to third, Navarro to second. Just a single out, and that will eliminate the double play as well if Fino's able to induce a ground ball. Could that be a costly wild pitch as Holland now had 2-1, just a single out in the fourth. That's just going to miss away at 85 from Tyler. Ball 3.
Really unlucky miss there.
Comes the 3-1 pitch to Holland. That is just tapped and looks like that clipped Chamberlain down low. 3-2. Fall home will be Jake Evans in this game where Stars were leading after 1 and a chance for Orange County just a single out. Already 2 runs in to take the lead. Second time these two teams have met this year. Should be the third, but the Star bus some issues yesterday, and we'll have to see when the game, which was supposed to be played tomorrow, will be rescheduled, if and when it will be played. Second and third, 3-2 pitch. That is ball 4. So Tyler Fino, since coming in, gave a base hit in the center, and Tyler Holland reaching for the second time today via base on balls to load him up.
Back-to-back walks for Holland. Every batter today has reached. Crucially here, I think, if a double play ball is back into effect, just have to force a ground ball, excuse me.
So here is Jake Evans. Takes ball 1. The first run back in the opening inning is a fly out into right. Unsaker at third. Navarro second. Holland first. And Fino looks for a ground ball. Third baseman. The corner is playing in defensively. Next pitch is in there. 1-1.
Came back at him with a breaking ball front door. Snuck into his zone. Beautiful pitch by Fino.
And the reliever, Tyler. Comes the 3-1 pitch to Evans. That's in there. Good delivery from Fino. 1-2.
Call of get a ground ball from the dugout at the end of the inning, Hunter.
The corner's in. Middle infielders at double play depth. Bases loaded. 1-2 pitch. Ball 2. Good cover by Chamberlain.
Slider was working for Fino earlier in the at-bat. Makes sense he goes to it there on a pitch with a little bit more options now. 2-2 counts even.
Here's the pitch. And rolled outside of third. It remains 2-2. What an opportunity for Orange County. Already 2 runs in the fourth. In this inning, every man has reached base. Grant Hunsaker was on a fielder's choice who's at third, resulting in the first and only out on the scoreboard. But besides that, 3 walks and 2 hits. Another 2-2 on the ground to third. They're coming home. Get the force out and the go to first base to turn 2. 5-2-3 on the double play to get out of the inning. Well done from Fino to induce the ground ball. And we're going to the bottom of the inning. Tied ball game.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Maddox Mandino will lead off for Santa Barbara. Tied ball game with Josh Hickey remaining in this game. The reliever, essentially a de facto start with the Orange County starter Tommy McGuire only recording a single out in the opening inning. But it's going to be the top three coming up for the Sturs, as Mandino is now at a 1-1 count. Be Kill and then Muma to follow Maddox in this inning.
Yeah, Hickey was supposed to be the guy starting yesterday's game and might as well be the starter today, as you said.
1-1 pitch down in the dirt. Ball 2. Maddox today, he's gone 0 for 2, a strikeout and a fly out to left.
Should be mentioned the third time that he's let off an inning as well.
Yes, sir. 2-1 pitch, big swing chasing fastball high. 2-2 for Mandino. And the Sturs look to bounce back. Giving up 2 runs top half of this inning, but you still have to applaud the job from the infield, turning that double play to get out of that inning. Here comes the 2-2. Chop to the third baseman, foul down the left field line, means 2-2.
Yeah, that was a smart play by the third baseman. Muma just went straight home, and Chamberlain was ready and hurled it over to first. Taylor made 5-2-3.
And it is 2-2 for Mandino. Tied ball game. Fly ball in the left. Up there is Navarro. Barely has to move. And Mandino is retired.
Now batting number 2, Terrence Hill.
That's going to bring up Terrence Kill, the second. He's 1 for 2. Double in the first and a ground out to short. The first of the 3 runs scored courtesy of Terrence when he was brought home by Cole Chamberlain back in that opening inning. But the base is clear, 1 out. Hickey will fire the first pitch to Kill. That's in there, strike 1.
Hickey working pretty quick on the mound today. Speed up batters and keep the game at his pace.
Here comes the 0-1 to Terrence. Big breaking ball, reducing the swing, strike 2. And they were looking at the CCL standings earlier in this game, but when you look to the North Division, granted, the only 2 teams that the Sturs are going to face this year in the North, Menlo Park and the Slow Blues, but Walnut Creek at 7-1, an affiliate team, the Alameda Merchants, 8-3. Some good baseball being played up there from the top 2 teams in the North.
Yeah, the Dad's always a threat up in the North Division.
No 2s away, ball 1.
I remember the first time I saw that, they were like, oh, we like to go by the Dads. I was like, I might have some fun with that.
Walnut Creek Dads. Comes a 1-2. Flared up right side, long run from Rosales. Has a play at first, but it will be late. Good speed from Kill, and it'll be an infield single for the DH. He picks up his second knock.
Yeah, the first baseman for the Riptide, Rodriguez, didn't even field it there. And Kill just showing off the speed. A lot of ground to cover for the Riptide second baseman who got there at the throw in, but Kill. 2 for 3, double and a single. Here's another guy with a double and a single today.
Also a run scored for the ledger of Easton Moomaw. And at first, 1 down. The first pitch is down good. Cover from Zach Crondell. Ball 1. We'll have to see what happens in the next inning in terms of the pitching for Santa Barbara. Will Tyler Fino remain in this game, or you did see Noah Waldeck warming? There's the next pitch. That's in there on the outside edge, 1-1. We were told Fino was the uh-oh guy if guys got into a jam, bring him into the contest, but it wanted Waldeck to start a fresh inning, and he was up and throwing. So we'll have to wait and see, so stay tuned. Here comes the 1-1. Check swing, takes a strike, 1-2.
It definitely got to the uh-oh situation, and it was a little uh-oh even when Fino got into the game, but he induced the ground ball to get the double play.
2 runs did come in to score, tied at 3. 1-2 pitch is lined into center. Back is Montgomery, makes the squeeze. 2 out in the 4th.
Yeah, well-timed hit by Moomaw, but just right to the center fielder.
Now batting number 6.
That's going to bring up Brenton Clark. He's currently 0 for 1, but does have a walk and a run scored for the Santa Barbara Foresters right fielder.
Yeah, Clark just wrapped up a year at Arkansas. Mentioned the Razorbacks doing pretty well for themselves. And LSU tonight, the College World Series.
It'll be interesting to see how that one pans out.
Winner go home for the rest of the time for the Razorbacks, who are down 2-1 in the bottom of the first, I can report.
Next pitch, I should say, is going to miss away for Brenton. I should say the first for ball 1.
And perhaps if you tune into tomorrow, a bit about the Razorbacks' journey to this point in the College World Series.
Here comes the 1-0. Check swing, and it's going to miss away. Good take from Brenton, and also a little bit of the history from Gage Wood, who tossed one of the no-hitters, I should say the no-hitter this postseason, notably a Forester alum. Two down, man at first. There goes the runner. It's going to miss inside for ball 3. Throw down to second. In safely is Terrence Kill, and he is now 6 for 6 in terms of stolen bases this year.
Didn't even try to tag him. I mean, the throw was going to be late, and then the shortstop over there just kind of nonchalantly tried to lay the tag down, but not even close to being in time.
Brenton is ahead 3-0. Here's the pitch into and line straight to the shortstop, Tyler Holland, and he was going to help something out with the man at second, Terrence Kill. He was picking something up for Terrence and actually handed to him, and the ball went right to him. So well done from Holland to keep his concentration. That ball was hit hard to him. And Terrence Kill is stranded on the bases, and we head to the 5th. Tied ball game between the Sturs and the Riptide.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
We have a tied ball game between the OC Riptide and the Santa Barbara Foresters, and we are on to the 5th inning. It's time for the Finney's 5th inning, brought to you every Foresters game by Finney's Craft House. Finney's now has 2 locations in Santa Barbara, one on Lower State and one in Goleta. Finney's is a great place to gather before or after any Foresters game. And we did ask the question, Nate, whether Fino would remain in this ball game, but it will be Noah Waldeck to take over a fresh inning in the 5th.
Yeah, and Waldeck coming in with nobody on, nobody out. Big moment for him. He's had a tough start to his Foresters career. He's done a good job getting some strikeouts. Had a pretty solid season this past year of St. Mary's.
First pitch is lined into the gap in right center field for Johnny Rodriguez, and Rodriguez on his horse going to second. Clark Field wall, and a lead-off double for Orange County. Rodriguez picks up his first hit.
Probably familiar feeling here for Johnny Rodriguez at Eddie Matthews Field, a double into the gap. Former Forester, the leadoff man on. It's a couple innings in a row now for the Riptide, 3 to be precise, where the leadoff man gets on.
And that's going to bring up Reed Montgomery with Rodriguez at second. Montgomery responsible for bringing home the first run of this ball game. RBI single in center field, which plated Jake Evans in the opening frame. Waldeck under some early pressure. First pitch at 90 will miss down and in, ball 1. To follow, Montgomery will be the catcher. 1-0 pitch is chopped to Muma at third. He's going to get the out at first base. Down to third, Rodriguez. Rather, Rodriguez holds. So an unproductive out from Montgomery. Rodriguez remains at second, 1 away in the 5th.
Yeah, Muma gave a long stare down to Rodriguez, holding him up at second before getting the force out at first. Really nice job limiting the runner. Quick out 1.
Big out for Waldeck to bring up Zach Crandall. And that's in down for ball 1.
Crandall just wrapped up a year with UCI. Very solid season for the Anteaters. 327 batting average. 462 OBP. Great first season for him at the new school.
1-0 pitch. Crandall sees a fastball away. That is ball 2. Crandall, the catcher today for the OC Riptide, trying to bring home Rodriguez at the leadoff double at second to break this 3-3 tie. Remember, it was the last inning. OC put up some runs. A big swing there from Crandall.
But also crucially was the first strikeout of the game. Struck out looking to end the first. I feel like a massive hack there.
He's currently 1 for 2. And he's going to see a 2-1 pitch. Delivery from Waldeck is going to miss down. That throw is into center field. Rodriguez will hold up. Mandino had a fumble with it, and going to third. It's going to be close. The throw is wide, and Rodriguez, after all of that, will get to third base.
He started going, headed back on the throw from Chamberlain that got away into the outfield past Klepsch at short. And Mandino fumbled with it. The runner took off again, went back when he saw Mandino was about to throw, and then just didn't come, dropped the ball, and now 90 feet from scoring.
We'll see how that goes down. Officially, 3-1 pitch is flared over the first base dugout. Out of play for strike 2. It'll go down as an error on the center fielder Mandino. So it'll go down as an E8 to advance Rodriguez to third.
Not every day you see an E8 advance a runner.
With 1 out, a 3-2 pitch to Zach Crandall. Here's Rulli. They're coming home. The play at the plate, and they got him at home, saving a run. Rodriguez thrown out at the plate for the second out of the inning.
Second time the runner's been thrown out at home this game. Defense coming up big when it needs to. Making up for the errors earlier this inning. That's a big play right there.
Good stuff from Easton Rulli, the second baseman. The other time it happened was actually just the last inning on the 5-2-3 double play to get out of the inning with the bases loaded. Get the force out at home, and this time Rulli. Good play to Chamberlain. First pitch swinging for Carter Dans, strike 1. So Crandall now at first via the fielder's choice. 2 out in the Finneys' 5th inning. Dan stays 0 for 1 with a walk. The 0-1 pitch, fooled there, strike 2.
Dan's just wrapped up a year with Northwestern where he only had 1 at bat, struck out.
Can Waldeck get out of this inning? 0-2 pitch, away, ball 1. And the big thing was after that leadoff double from Rodriguez, the base hit, unless something happens, shouldn't score the runner at first, unless the ball's into the gap, but eliminated that runner after the leadoff double. 1-2 pitch. That's down, spiked in the dirt, ricocheting off the fence, and down to second, Crandall.
Call the announcer's jinx, Hunter.
Well, it wasn't a hit. The slider missing down. But yes, now a man in a scoring position. A hit could break the tie for OC. It is 2-2 in Waldeck. Looking to get out of this inning. 2-2 pitch. Foul back on the check swing. Means 2-2 to Carter Dans.
Tard looking to attack here on this. Telling his pitcher to attack on this pitch. Go get him.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Waldeck. Lined into center field, going back is Mandino, and into the gap, makes the squeeze. Waldeck works around a leadoff double. Great stuff by the reliever. Bob in the 5th we go. Stirs, Riptide, tied at 3.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Into the bottom of the fifth inning. This fifth inning brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's is a great place to gather before or after any Foresters game. Finney's Craft House. And a new arm will be entering for the OC Riptide. Tied ball game, bottom of 5. Trey Telfer will take over for Josh Hickey.
Yeah, Telfer joined the team a little late, but he has been an absolute force on the mound so far for the Riptides. His last appearance against the Philippines, struck out. All 6 of his outs that he got were strikeouts. 2 hits, 2 scoreless innings. He, in his other appearance, went 2 1/3. He's done a really good job limiting walks as well. Looking at a 4-pitch mix. 5-pitch mix, excuse me. The 4-seam cutter, slider, splitter, and then maybe you'll see the curveball. It's pretty rare. Very, very impressive pitcher so far for the Riptide.
He's going to be facing 5'6'7" Chamberlain Far Hoover, scheduled for Santa Barbara. Stars had a lot of action, a lot of base runners early in this game.
And they've done a good job of getting guys on still, but it hasn't been what we saw in that first, what we've seen throughout the season, where it's like stacking guys on top of each other, getting rallies going, passing the bats. It's been, a 2-out double or, a 1-out single. And really what they need to get going here is against the new arm, attack early.
And the right-hander, Telfer, will face Chamberlain to start off the 5th. Comes the first pitch to Cole. And it's going to hit Chamberlain. Fastball at 90. This hit by a pitch brought to us by our friends at Alta Orthopedics.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
The leadoff man is aboard to bring up Sawyer Farr.
And when I said attack, I didn't mean for the pitcher to hit our batter. But Chamberlain on any way possible. Leadoff man is on. That's exactly what the Foresters needed to do there.
Second time Cole's reached base and also had an RBI walk in the first. Man who's also reached base, and man now at the plate, formed the switch hitter Sawyer Farr. The first pitch will be on the outside edge at 90 from Telfer. Strike 1 on Sawyer. Farr an RBI walk as well in the first and a double into left. With 1 out in the third. Trey Telfer lines up the 0-1 to Sawyer. And that's in there.
Already seeing some really nice pitches from Telfer. Plays his college ball at Indiana, where he mainly worked as a reliever. 4.15 ERA for the Hoosiers.
And he's ahead. 0-2 on Sawyer. Swing and a miss, and Sawyer Farr strikes out 1 away in the 5th.
And as I said, that's exactly what Telfer's been able to do all season, is get swing and misses, get the strikeouts. 11th of the year for the Riptide right-hander.
Both teams' pitching staffs have K'd 3 so far. All of the 3 Santa Barbara, I should say, for the Santa Barbara pitchers, Bryce Navarre has all 3 of those strikeouts, but every pitcher today for Orange County has struck out 1 to amass the 3. 1 on, 1 out now for Caleb Hoover. First pitch, fastball at 92 on the outside edge. 0-1. Caleb today, he's 1 for 2. RBI single, and then struck out in the 3rd. Comes the 0-1. Line to the shortstop. This is going to be 2. The line out into the double play as they double up Chamberlain, who is taking off, and Trey Telfer only has to face 3 in the 5th. Going to the 6th inning, tied at 3 between OC and Santa Barbara.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
On to the sixth inning. Noah Waldeck remains in this ball game after entering in the fifth, and it's tied 3-3. Waldeck is going to face 8-9-1, Rosales, Hunsaker, and Navarro coming up for the Riptide.
Yeah, last inning, and really the inning before that, we see a couple defensive mistakes by the Forsters, but they've more than made up for it. Really nice job to get out of that last inning.
First pitch to short. Here's Klepsch. And the throw to first will be in time. Rosales off one pitch, grounds out 6-3, one away in the sixth.
That was a nice job by Klepsch. He kind of took a weird final hop, higher than he expected, but he was able to grab the ball and curl it over to first. I want to go back to that end of the fifth inning, though, with Mandino covering a lot of ground in the left center gap, making a tough over-the-shoulder grab. Great play in center.
And here is Hunsaker. Will take a first pitch strikeout from Waldeck at 90 on the fastball. 0-1. Mandino has been fantastic. 0-1. And the slider will miss away for ball one.
Yeah, Mandino, had the day off from center field on Sunday. I don't think he played on Saturday either. So it's been a couple days for him since he's gone back into his favored position, but picking it up like there was no absence.
Now 2 balls, 1 strike for the number 9 batter who's gone 0 for 2. Struck out and then rolled into a fielder's choice. 2-1. That's in there at 92-2. Tidy looking pitch from Waldeck.
Yeah, found the corner. Crucial to locate there.
Base is clear, 1 out. Here comes 2-2 pitch. In there, cold, strike 3. Hunsaker goes down looking 2 out in the sixth.
What a breaking ball. I'm on the back door.
That's going to bring Bradley Navarro. Base is clear, 2 gone. Navarro in the top spot today has gone 1 for 2. Also a walk to his name. Here comes first pitch. That's down for ball 1.
Yeah, back to the top of the order. Navarro's reached his last 2 times. Single in the fourth. This is his first time facing Waldeck, though.
1-0 pitch is going to miss high and away. 2-0 in the Stars with this game today. Kicking off a 5-game homestand.
And it's really nice for the Stars to be at home after the trip to start the year. To get some consistency and to be able to play at their home ballpark, to not have to do those long bus rides into the LA traffic and bus rides that don't even happen because the bus pulls over in Oxnard 20 minutes in.
2-1. Strike 2. Fooled there. And Waldeck grinds his way back into the count. Fantastic work from the reliever.
It feels like his confidence is building on the mound.
Base is clear. 2 out. 2-2 pitch. Inside. Didn't miss by much. Full count. And you could hear Bill Pintard saying, great pitch right there. 3-2. Navarro fights it off. Means full.
Navarro, as we mentioned, just been electric to start the year. OBP of 679. 4 multi-hit games this season, including a walk-off last weekend.
3-2 is again fouled back. And it is just a tied game at 3 in the 6th. Who's going to be the one to break this tie? Where Sturs had a 3-1 lead into the 4th. 2 runs by OC. Tied us. 3 apiece. And now the 3-2 pitch to Navarro. Down left field line will foul and out of play. And the oak tree is just on top of the third base dugout. Main's 3-2.
Navarro, guy who's bounced around a lot in college. He started his career with Michigan in the Big Ten, then played some JUCO ball at Cypress College, and was recently committed to Utah.
3-2 pitch on the ground, left side, and through for a base hit. What a plate appearance from Navarro. He's able to find a 2-out knock, and he is now 2 for 3 with a walk today.
Yeah, what a plate appearance indeed. Got it to full, had a couple of foul balls, and then drives one into the opposite field gap between short and third. It's what he's done all season.
That's going to bring up Tyler Holland. 1 on, 2 out. Good cover by Chamberlain for ball 1. But Navarro, his second hit, and Holland today, he's gone 0 for 1, but 2 walks. 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th for the OC shortstop. Check to the man who just got on. In safely is Navarro. In case you're wondering, he is 2 for 2 stolen bases this year. Haven't seen any Riptide player take off today. They've advanced on a couple wild pitches, but now the 1-0, that's in there 1-1.
To attack back at him by Waldeck. And after the runner gets on after a long at bat, he's still trusting his pitches to find the zone.
Another check back to the man at first. In safely, nearly had him picked off. This Forster dugout thought they had him caught sleeping at first, but it remains a 1-1 for Holland.
Chamberlain thought he was out as well. He was already taking off his catcher gear.
Comes the 1-1 pitch. High fly ball into center, drifting back Mandino a few paces in front of the wall and makes the squeeze to retire the side. Navarro had a 2-out knock, but Waldeck takes care of business in the 6th. Bottom of the inning we go. Klepsch, Rulli, Mandino coming up.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Bottom of the 6th inning, tied ball game. First pitch swinging for Aston Klepsch, strike one. As a reliever, Trey Telfer remains in this ball game. Only had to face 3 in the last. Who's going to break this tie? Klepsch, Rulli, Mandino will be coming up for Santa Barbara. Klepsch is 0 for 1 with a walk. Comes the 0-1 pitch from Telfer. And that's in there. The breaking ball for strike 2. And there was a change to start off this inning. In for Bradley Navarro in left field is Jack Salmon. Now patrolling the left field lawn. Aston's going to have to shorten up. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Popped up, shallow right field, and the second baseman Rosales will make the play. 1 out in the 6th.
Now batting number
Yeah, tough
9,
one for Klepsch there.
Rulli.
Skin full. This is some really effective pitching by Telfer so far.
That's going to bring up Easton Rulli. 1 out, base is clear. Easton today, he's gone 0 for 2. Ground to a fielder's choice, ground out to second. Telfer's first pitch will miss inside for ball 1. And Nate, we kind of were talking about in the last inning, but all the base runners in the first 9 came around in the opening inning. But since then, just a few scattered hits, a few scattered base runners. And other than that, not too much going offensively for Santa Barbara, trying to break this 3-3 tie.
Yeah, you thought you might have had something last time up with the hit by pitch for the leadoff batter, but then strikeout in a double play. And that can be the difference, you know. Baseball just changes like that. Momentum can swing like a pendulum. And that's certainly been the case. Really effective job, of course, by Telfer to shut things down after hitting the leadoff batter on the first pitch. Really shows that he trusts his stuff even after pinging the man.
Comes the 1-1, and that's going to miss high and away. 2-1. Nice take from Easton. Remember, the defensive change now out in left field is Jack Salmon to hit in the top spot of the order. Comes a 2-1 pitch to Easton Rulli. And that's over his head, ducking underneath it, ball 3. And Easton's been a man who's been battered this season, already taken a fastball in the face. And
was not ready to take one there,
no.
And I don't blame him.
Good thing he was able to duck out under it. Ball 3. Mandino will be next. Can Santa Barbara get the offensive engine running? Comes a 3-1 pitch to Easton Rulli. Popped up and out of play to the street. That one runs parallel down the right field line. Count now full.
Really giving a good battle to pitcher who's been tough to make contact on. Getting a couple foul balls here. Really good battle so far from the rising redshirt junior.
Base is clear, 1 away for Rulli. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to the number 9 batter. Swing and a miss. Nasty pitch from Telfer. 2 down in the 6th.
Yeah, really nasty pitch. Chirps coming from the Riptide dugout.
Now batting number 1, Maddox.
Just going to bring him on top of the order. Maddox Mandino stand in for the 4th time. It is something to note down in the Forester bullpen. Jaden Barfield, the lefty, is now throwing, so Waldeck took over in the 5th, went 2 clean innings for right-handed reliever. Will we see Barfield in the next? But right now, Mandino swings on the first pitch into right, drifting over his Hunsaker, and it falls. And Mandino's thinking too, but blew a tire around first base, gets back in safely. And Mandino's good to see him back to his feet and not injured after that wide turn, but he is going to get talking to with Bill Pintard. Hopefully he's all right.
He runs with so much aggression and force, and he just kind of overcame him there. He just looked like he tripped a bit on the bag. He was ready to go, too. Probably slide into second safe. Still get some dirt on the jersey, but instead we'll have to settle for just a 2-out single.
So good to see Maddox okay. after a big turn, and he's already taken a big lead off of first base. Remember, he's 4 for 5 in stolen bases this year. That's going to bring up Terrence Kill. First pitch popped up into foul ground, and it looks like maybe a play for the first baseman. And making the squeeze just inches in front of the batting cages was Johnny Rodriguez, and Terrence Kill will be a foul-out victim, and Mandino will be stranded on the bases. We head to the 7th, still tied at 3 between Riptide and the Foresters.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Back at Santa Barbara High School, we will have a pitching change for Santa Barbara. Making his debut for the Surge, Jaden Barfield, the lefty reliever, takes over. He's going to face 3, 4, and 5 in the 7th.
Yeah, one of the few new pitchers that came in this week for Pintard's squad, and he's one I've been really excited about. ERA below 4 of his past freshman year with Oklahoma. Only allowed 8 walks in 16 and a third, and mainly he got a couple of starts, including in an SEC tournament first-round game. Ended up being a Sooner win. His head coach, Skip Johnson, praised him for his ability to pound the strike zone in that appearance, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we see today. He's got a very solid fastball in a very big situation, tie game still. Way to make this will be a big opportunity to make a strong first impression to your squad.
Jake Evans, Johnny Rodriguez, Reed Montgomery will be coming up for Orange County. Orange County have won 2 games straight. The Sturs have won 3 straight. Of course, these teams were supposed to play yesterday down in Irvine. Santa Barbara, with their transportation malfunction, so to speak, unable to get too much past Oxnard down the coast. But here comes the first pitch for Barfield. Fastball at 90, misses away to Evans, ball 1. Evans today's gone 0 for 2. Does have a walk and a run scored. 1-0 pitch. And that's located on the inside edge at 91 to even the count. After the walk in the first inning, a fly out to right, then ground into the double play, the 5-2-3 double play with the bases loaded. The 1-1. To short, Klepsch charges in a fraction, and the throw to first in time, 1 away in the 7th.
Good job forcing some weak contact. That's something he also did a really good job of at Oklahoma in that tournament game against Kentucky. He got into a bit of a jam in that first inning, but got out of it with a double play because he forces weak contact, and that's what he did there. Hopper to a shortstop, easy play for Klepsch to hurl it over to first for a quick out 1.
The battle will now be Johnny Rodriguez, who made the nice play defensively to end the 6th, running out of real estate down the first baseline foul ground. Flies this one to center. Mandino is there, but a long run, and Maddox Mandino, great defense yet again. 2 up, 2 down for Barfield.
Yeah, showing the speed. Maybe a little banged up on the bag trip in the previous inning, but didn't show it there. Got on his high horse and hustled over to make the second out.
2 gone, bases clear now for Reed Montgomery, who today has gone 1 for 3. First plate appearance had an RBI single to plate the first run of the day for Orange County. The lefty-lefty matchup, big swing on the breaking ball from Jaden Barfield.
Really nice swing and miss there. His pitcher rolling in hot. He didn't allow a single run in the month of May, which is crunch time in the SEC.
Deuces another swing and miss. 0-2 in Barfield.
And another thing is, Pintard's done a good job throwing in the different looks here. You start the day with a lefty, taller frame with Navarre, and now Barfield, a little shorter, 5'10" lefty, sandwiched between 2 righties that are taller on the mound as well.
And he will strike out Montgomery on 3 pitches. A 1-2-3 7th inning. Welcome to Santa Barbara, Jaden Barfield. Stretch time, tied at 3. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. Back in Santa Barbara, bottom of the 7th inning, Easton Mumaw, Brenton Clark, Cole Chamberlain will be scheduled for Santa Barbara, and Trey Telfer remains in this game. He has been solid, Nate, since taking over in the 5th.
Solid, yeah, definitely, Hunter. Couple of strikeouts, only 1 hit. Really solid to start.
Who's going to break? Sorry, go ahead.
This is a tough part of the order here. Mumaw, 2 for 3 today. Just a line out. Clark's always a tough out, and Chamberlain has some serious pop in that 5-hole.
Who's going to be the hero on either side to break this tie? Been tied at 3 since the top of the 4th. But here is Mumaw, 2 for 3 today. First pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. A double, or say a single in the first, a double, and then a line out to center. 3rd time up for Easton. Comes the 0-1. That's down in the dirt. 1-1 the count for Easton Mumaw.
Mumaw, prolific hitter at UT Rio Grande Valley this past year. Pressed in his defense as well.
A ball and a strike to the leadoff man. Telfer deals the 1-1. And foul back on top of third base on deck circle 1 and 2. And remember, when you look at this game, the starter for Orange County, Tommy McGuire, only recorded a single out. They ended up facing 6 batters, and the Stars had 9 men come to the plate in the first. They plated 3 runs, and all 3 of their runs came in that opening frame. Comes the 1-2 pitch to Easton. And that's away, 2-2.
Take there by Mumaw on the outer half of the plate. Just wanted that breaking ball to break a little bit more into the zone, into that sweet spot.
And on deck, you see Brenton Clark chatting with the manager, Bill Pintard. Here comes 2-2. Good take, missing away at bell tight. Full count.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the Foresters. Something that they did really well in the first inning was taking close pitches like that.
Yes.
And Muma showing that approach once again here in the 7th. As the intensity sort of builds up here.
Comes a payoff pitch to the leadoff man. Up the middle, tough play for Rosales. Fields it behind second. Great play by the second baseman. One away in the 7th.
Yeah, great play indeed, Hunter. That's not when all your momentum's sending you the other way, and you have to throw against that. And he hustles it over. It's a big out one.
That's going to bring up Brenton Clark. And you did see Bill Pintard giving specific words to Brent on that on-deck circle. Today, Brenton's gone 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. The first pitch in the left field for a base hit. And yet again, Brenton Clark taking it the other way. A one-out knock, and the Sturs have a one-out base runner in the 7th.
A bit since we've seen that from Clark, but maybe Bill reminded him, hey, opposite field looks pretty open if you ask me. Sends that one over the infielder's head and into no man's land. One out, and he's got some speed on the bags.
It would be interesting to know what the manager just told him there.
Whatever it was, it worked.
Yes. That's going to bring up Cole Chamberlain. Man on first, one out. Can Santa Barbara break this 3-3 tie? First pitch. Good slider, strike one.
That I've noticed from all of these Riptide pitchers is they've got some really great movement horizontally, especially on those sweeper sliders.
Chamberlain today's gone. He's gotten on board twice today. 0-1 is over to second. Rosales, nice play again. Gets the force out the throw to first. Will not be in time. But Rosales smothers up another one. Gets the second out at second base.
Now batting number 5, Sawyer Farr.
Yeah, Clark has a lot of speed, but just couldn't get in there in time. Another really impressive play by Rosales. Bad throw, though, from the shortstop. Very easily could have been 2.
Chamberlain is aboard. And that's going to bring up Sawyer Farr. Now 2 down in the inning. And Sawyer, the switch hitter, has gone 1 for 2 today. Also a walk and an RBI. Fooled there, strike one, and notably that hit in the 3rd. Came in with 1 out, a double into left.
Went over the 3rd as well, but the Foresters couldn't score him.
Well, Santa Barbara look back to that inning. It's tied 3-3, and a slider will miss away for a ball. 1-1.
It's a couple times where, yeah, the Foresters have left runners stranded in scoring position. In the second, Muma was at second, Farr at 3rd and 3rd. And then Kill made it to second in the 4th.
1-1 to the second baseman. Rosales has been busy this inning, and the side is retired. Rosales responsible for all 3 outs. We head to the 8th, tied at 3 in Santa Barbara.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Into the 8th inning, OC Santa Barbara are tied at 3. Jaden Barfield in his debut in the last inning faced the minimum with a punch out for the 3rd out. He will face Crandall, Dans, and Rosales. 6, 7, 8 coming up in this inning.
They're playing your song, Hunter.
Yes, they are.
You've been asking for this one for a couple days. You finally get it. Comes at a crucial moment. 8th inning. It does matter in the end here, going up against what the song says. And Jaden Barfield had a very solid 7-3 up, 3 down, including a strikeout. That's what he did in college of Oklahoma. That's how his first inning started with the Stars.
The batter will be Zach Crandall. A drive into center field. Mandino casually trots back. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 8th. The line out in the center.
Quick outs. That's how the Stars started the game. That's how they started the 7th, and another quick one for Barfield. Really impressive.
That's going to bring up the DH, the number 7 batter, Carter Dans. Today has gone 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. As the first pitch will miss away, and notably that run scored by Dans was the tying run in the 4th. Comes the 1-0 pitch to the DH, and that's going to be down for ball 2. 4 runs were scored in the first inning between the two teams, 1 for OC, 3 for the Stars, then 2 in the 4th for the Orange County Riptide, and we've been a tied stalemate since. 2-0 pitch, that's down for ball 3. Nate, we have said for Santa Barbara, the scattered hits couldn't really get much going offensively. OC, on the other hand, have had some chances in these middle innings. They've had the leadoff double, notably by Johnny Rodriguez, stranded him, and the Stars' defense and pitching is really locked in.
Especially the defense. They've made up for some of their errors, and they've been pretty shut down over the last couple innings.
This is a 3-0 in there for a strike, 3-1.
You saw how filthy that pitch was. Batter thought he was going to get hit. And
called a strike.
Really, really gross from Barfield.
He's moving quick. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Count now full.
Got Dan's in a blender. Thought he was going to get him the last one. Big swing and miss on the 3-1, and Barfield can go in any direction here.
Comes a 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Barfield fell behind 3-0 and strikes out Dan's looking. 2 out in the 8th.
Way to come back by Barfield. 3 straight off-speed breaking balls. The first one, Dan's thought was going to ping him. Instead, finds the zone. Second one, massive swing and a miss. That one gets him looking right down the middle.
Fantastic from Jaden. Here's Rosales over to Klepsch at short. And for the second straight inning, Jaden Barfield faces the minimum. Bottom of the 8th we go. Bottom 3 scheduled. Hoover, Klepsch, and Rulli. We are tied at 3.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the 8th inning, tied game. Hoover will lead off for Santa Barbara, but a new arm is entered. The right-handed reliever, Dylan Nieto, take over for Orange County. First pitch to Caleb is in there at 89, strike one.
Nieto, really effective pitcher, He's yet to allow a run. No walks, 5 strikeouts in his young Riptide career.
Here comes the 0-1 to the leadoff man. Hoover checks his swing, able to lay off with that ball in the dirt. So it's 1-1 for Hoover, who has gone 1 for 3 today. Had an RBI single in the first, struck out, and then lined into a double play. But Santa Barbara needing base runners. Caleb is able to get on. Here comes the 1-1. High drive into right, drawing, and that ball is fair. Down into the corner. Hoover to second. He cruises in standing. And a lead-off double for Santa Barbara.
Now batting number 3, Addison Klepch.
We got another extra base hit for the Santa Barbara Foresters. First pitch swinging. Sends that one down the right field line. Exactly what you want from the power lefty. Stand-up double, and they're going to bring in the pinch runner, Liam Keefley.
Huge spot for Caleb Hoover, coming up big. The Stars are able to break this stalemate. The last runs for Santa Barbara, all 3 of them rather, came in the first inning. So now the pinch runner in, and the batter is now Addison Klepch. And at second, nobody out. First pitch will miss inside, ball 1.
Yeah, Nieto, a 5-pitch mix. Couple of fastballs. You got the regular 4-seam and then a sinker. And then if you want to go for the swing and misses, it's a slider, changeup, and a curveball.
And Nieto is the 3rd man out of the bullpen today. 4th arm to be used by Orange County after their starter only recorded a single out. Keithley, a good runner at second. Comes a 1-0 pitch to Klepch. We'll have to wait.
And Keithley being used in a position that he's very used to at Cal Lutheran, was primarily used as a pinch runner. Was very effective. He's got a lot of speed on him.
It's Klepch now, and then Ruley next. 1-0 pitch. There goes the runner. Check swing, and no throw down, and a stolen bag for Keithley. And 90 feet away from plating the go-ahead run. Fantastic work by the pinch runner, and it's now 1-1 on Klepch.
It's a couple times now where we've seen Crandell kind of tied up on a stolen base attempt. Expect all throws to come home on infield hits.
And the infield in. Here comes the 1-1. That's down good. Key from Zach Crandall. Ball 2.
This is easily the most pressure either side has been on. Bottom of the 8th inning. No one out, runner at third. The defense is playing really in, Hunter.
You know, everything's coming home for this infield. Comes the 2-1. High fastball, check swing. That is ball 3. Fantastic work by Addison. 3-1.
Fantastic work indeed.
Go-ahead run at third base for Santa Barbara. Tied at 3. Here comes a 3-1 pitch. That's inside. Ball 4. A double by Hoover. Keithley, the pinch runner, steals third.
Batting number 9.
And Klepsch works his second walk of the day.
Well done by Addison. Great check swing on that 2-1. And gets ahead on the count 3-1. Easy walk there. Now there's a mound visit early for the new man, Nieto.
Nieto give up the double to Hoover, and now the walk. And Ryan Evans, first-year head coach with Orange County. Last year served as the pitching coach under Connor Spencer. Now working full-time with CSU Fullerton. But a quick chat with Dylan Nieto, and the batter will now be Easton Ruley. First and third, nobody out.
You still have one job. You just got to get it into the outfield. That's the only objective if you're Ruley. With Keithley's speed, I think almost any ball that is hit into the outfield, Keithley's going to head home. You just got to get it over the infielder's head.
The entire infield in. Comes the first pitch to Easton. Misses upstairs. No, called strike. 0-1. There was some instruction from Steve Shuck down that third baseline. It's all about Keithley at third, getting him home. Here comes the 0-1. Runner takes off strike 2 on Easton, and Klepsch down to second.
I was just going to say, I would not be surprised to see Klepsch go there, eliminate the double play ball as a possibility. Of course, that's not really something the infield is thinking about, but now you have another runner in scoring position with nobody out. That puts even more pressure on getting Ruley out here.
Tied at 3 since the top of the 4th. Comes the 0-2 to Ruley. Sprays it over the first base dugout, stays alive. Remember, the top of the order is on deck. And with no double play in effect, Mandino next. Nobody out. We said that earlier in this game, who was going to be the hero for either side? Santa Barbara bring home the 4th run. 0-2 pitch is chopped foul backwards. Means 0-2.
Done staying alive there by Ruley.
Easton today's gone 0 for 3. Rolled into a fielder's choice. Ground out to second. And struck out. But the infield in. Comes the 0-2 pitch. On the ground, left side, and it's knocked down by the shortstop. The throw to first was in time. What a play by Tyler Holland. Stops that ball. And here comes Bill Pintard out of the first base dugout. What a play by the shortstop. Records the first out of the inning.
Bumbled it for a second. Good job by the runners holding up. They thought that might have gone through, and that could have been the first runs for the Foresters since the first. Instead, held up. 1 out. A crucial first out at that.
And the crew will now confer. Just also get some second opinions. But that ball was hit pretty hard. And they confirm an out at first base. So it remains second and third, but now 1 out on the scoreboard to bring up Maddox Mandino.
Simple objective here. Simple objective. It's to get the ball into the outfield. Doesn't matter where it is. And now, yeah, coach coming out of the dugout here for the Riptide.
Dylan Nieto. His day will be complete. He faces 3. The leadoff double by Hoover, Klepsch the walk. Remember, Keithley is now running for Hoover at third, but a new arm will be entering for OC. Second and third, only a single out. The Sturs look to take the lead when we return.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
The new arm entering for the OC Riptide will be Jack O'Malley, the right-hander. Nate, the Sturs have already seen this man earlier this year.
Yes, that's when the game kind of opened up for them. Had a couple of runs against the 6'8" righty from Bucknell. And if you've been keeping an eye on the screen during the commercial break, you would see why struggles a lot with his control. You see a lot of balls in the dirt, a lot of his sliders and fastballs getting away from him and hitting the backstop. It's something he's struggled with everywhere he's gone. Had 9 walks to 3 strikeouts with his school of his past year. His last summer ball team, 4 walks to no strikes. It's something he struggled with a lot. He's mentioned it in talking about it. He says his height really makes it hard to control some of these pitches. And he pumps gas, 95 on the fastball. Definitely some of the higher velo you see in the CCL. Works with a slider and a splitter as well. That splitter mainly going to be to lefties like Mandino.
So
Base open. You can afford a walk here, but you can't do much more than that.
And the Sturs have Keithley at third, Klepsch at second. The batter is Mandino, only a single out in this inning. First pitch to Max is popped up and high foul ball.
Did exactly what he was supposed to do, except it went foul. Right idea, just the wrong timing.
Maddox today, actually last time he stood in, a base hit. Can Santa Barbara take the lead in the bottom of the 8th? Comes the 0-1. Squaring around to bunt. It's going to take a ball. Maybe would they try to squeeze home Keithley here? Did see a massive conversation with.
I haven't seen that many people gather around this season for a talk for the Sturs. It was Pintard, it was Shuck, it was a few players both on the field and this inning.
It is 1-1 for Maddox. Squares around to bunt. They're trying to bring him home. The play at the plate. Keithley is safe. Santa Barbara lead 4-3. And Maddox Mandino. Hello. Squeezing home Liam Keithley to bring home the go-ahead run. 4-3 the score.
I mean, that's gutsy, but that's what the Foresters are all about. You know, Bill Pintard says, I'm not trying to get the best players. I'm trying to get the guys with heart, and that is heart right there. Sacrifice bunt. Keithley slides and just evades the tag. That's Forester baseball right there, Hunter.
First pitch to kill off the end of the bat for strike one. So Klepsch is able to advance from second to third. Mandino aboard at first base. Now it's a matter of how much Santa Barbara can bring home in this 8th inning. Comes the 0-1. There goes the runner. It's down for a ball. Mandino slides in. No throw down from Crandall. And once again, it is now second and third. Just a single out.
Another time where we haven't seen a throw come from Crandall, and it's just really surprising to see. Now he's taken a Phil Pintard arguing that he can take an offensive timeout to the home plate ump, and he's calling in everybody again to have another massive meeting.
Yeah, and at this point, all right, you got the lead now. You've broken the stalemate since the top of the third, just outside, just on the corner of your picture, every runner on base, and all the way up to Brenton Clark, who is scheduled in 2 batters' time as part of this conversation.
And this is, I think, where Pintard's experience shows, moments like these. 31st year as a head coach for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Tight games. His baseball knowledge is off the charts, as we know. He's been breathing the sport his entire life.
And the count is 1-1 for Terrence Kill, a second. Mandino brought home the go-ahead run. 1 out, second and third. Comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball sprayed back to that fastball at 95 from O'Malley. Strike 2.
Again, expect all throws from the infield coming home.
The infield in. Evans at third, Holland at short, Rosales second, Johnny Rodriguez, the first baseman. Ball and 2 strikes for Kill. Here comes the pitch from O'Malley. That's away. Good read from Zach Crandall. 2-2. Mandino was able to get down to second on a stolen bag. 3 stolen bases in this inning alone for Santa Barbara. Well over 30 attempts so far this year. They're playing their 9th game today. 2-2 to Terrence. Check swing, ball gets away. And no, he did not go. Crandall made sure just to slap the tag on him, but it remains 2-2.
Just trying to get outs any way possible, even when you can't even get him out.
In case you're wondering, 9, 1, and 2 will be scheduled for Orange County in the 9th. Just a matter of what the lead will be for Santa Barbara. Right now it's 1. Comes the 2-2. Check swing on the high. Fastball again, 95 from Jack O'Malley. Right, the count is full for Terrence Kill.
Already has a couple hits today. First hit of the day with a double, scored the first run for the Foresters.
And here comes a 3-2 pitch to the DH. Ball 4, and Terrence Kill reaching base for the 3rd time today. Got 2 hits. Now a walk to bring up Easton Mumau. Bases loaded still. Just 1 out in the 8th.
Easton Mumau, this past season at UT Rio Grande Valley, it is first career grand slam in a 11-9 win over Texas State. He's got bases loaded here, 1 out, and just a simple single that could score 2 is all I think he'll take here.
And he's going to take a first pitch strike, a fastball at 94 on the outside edge from Jack O'Malley. O'Malley entered this inning with runners scoring position. Mandino, the squeeze to bring home the go-ahead run. The 0-1. That is down, ball and a strike.
Especially now with no bases open for a guy like O'Malley, who we know struggles with walks. It's a tough moment for him to be in.
Remember, Mumau is 2 for 4 today. Comes the 1-1. And that's inside. Good take for ball 2.
For a guy like Mumau, great plate vision. He's got an on-base percentage of .563 this season.
He has been fantastic this year and looking to make a little extra insurance for Santa Barbara into the ninth. 2-1. That is on the outside edge, 2-2. To follow Easton will be Brenton Clark. And the infield is at double play depth. The third baseman, Evans, pinched in a fraction. Both corners are. Jack O'Malley. 2-2 pitch. That's away. Ball 4 gets away from the catcher. Coming in from third base is Klepsch. Santa Barbara lead 5-3 in the eighth.
Another pitch gets away from O'Malley, and it's costly. He struggled with command his entire career. It is now 3-2 with a base open. No signs of slowing down here for Santa Barbara.
The wild pitch scores Klepsch and is now 5-3 Sturs. First base unoccupied, and Easton Mumaw sees a 3-2 delivery. And just getting a piece of it. That ball deflecting out the glove of Crandall. Mains 3-2. Kills at second. Mandino is at third. 2 runs in for Santa Barbara. They now lead. Another payoff pitch to Easton. That's ball 4, and Mumaw aboard for the third time today. 2 hits and a walk, and the second walk given up by O'Malley.
Crucially, though, that brings the double play back into effect, but a couple of hard outs coming up here. Brenton Clark to start. He singled last time out, reached in the first as well. It's 1 for 3 today. Really good hitter, does a good job. We've already seen him send it once into the opposite field.
No room for error now. Bases juiced once again. First pitch from Clark, big rip. Strike 1. That fastball was pretty much right down the middle at 95. Brenton just late. Clark has gone 1 for 3 today with a walk and a run scored. 0-1 pitch. That is down. Good work by Crandall. Keep any other runs from coming into scoring. Remember, it's Mandino at third now. Any sniff of a bobbled ball, and you likely think Mandino might try to come home with his speed.
Hit into the outfield, scores kill as well.
Mm-hmm. One and one for Clark. In the left center field, Reed Montgomery slides over, and he is able to make the catch, but from third base, Mandino will score. Sacrifice fly for Clark, and the Sturs now lead 6-3 in the eighth.
I don't want to distract from the great play that was made by the Riptide center fielder, because it was a great diving grab, but crucially, some more runs across the plate there. You still have 2 on, 2 out. Cole Chamberlain, really solid hitter. This inning's not close to over, Hunter.
So it's now Chamberlain first and second. First pitch, fastball missing high and away, ball 1. And Santa Barbara after the backstop and a free 90 feet for both Kill and Mumaw. It's going to go down as a wild pitch. A couple wild pitches have cost O'Malley and OC in this inning. It's now second and third. 2 gone, and Chamberlain is the 8th batter of this inning. Chamberlain's reached via walk. He's been hit by a pitch and then rolled into a fielder's choice. Comes the 2-0 pitch. Check swing. It's going to take fastball 4 strike, 2-1. And notably, Ethan O'Neill is warming up down that right field bullpen. We were told he would come in a closed situation. It's now a 6-3 lead, maybe a little bit more, but we'd assume O'Neill will make his debut the top of the 9th inning. 2-1. That's inside ball 3.
You have a base open here. Said it a couple times already. I'll say it again. And after that, you really don't have much wiggle room. I don't really see any arms warming up in the bullpen for OC.
Next scheduled batter is Sawyer Farr. Here comes a 3-1 pitch to Chamberlain. That is ball 4. Sturs load him up yet again. That is the 4th walk of this inning to go along with 2 hits.
Now batting number 5.
Passing the bats on her.
Sawyer Farr.
And we've got some parity.
9 batter innings are common with this team, which is a crazy thing to say. When they score in bunches.
And that was exactly my line of thought there, Nate. First inning, 9 batters came around, plated 3 runs. Right now, Farr stands in as the 9th batter of the inning, and 3 runs have already come around to score. First pitch in the dirt, and Crandall been working hard back there behind the plate. It's ball 1.
Yeah, this has been a long inning for Crandall. He'll be taking a mound visit. Check in on his pitcher.
Sawyer Farr today, he's gone 1 for 3. Also has an RBI walk, so he's also stood in with the bases loaded earlier today. Able to walk in a run, then a double, strikeout, ground out to second for the switch hitter. The course of this ball game, it's been interesting in terms of pitching and just what Brian Evans has been able to do and what he's tried to do throughout this game. Josh Hickey, very solid as the first reliever, going 3 2/3 for Orange County. And right now it's O'Malley. Took over in the middle of this inning. Bases loaded, 2 out. 1-0 pitch. And that's down. Ball 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a bit of a story of the game here where, the Riptide have had 2 pitchers combined for 3 2/3, have 6 2/3, with Hickey and Telfer. And the other guys, 1/3 from McGuire, 1/3 from Dieto, 1/3 so far from him. He is behind in the count here.
Now 3-0 on Farr. Nowhere to put him. 2 out. And here comes the 3-0 pitch from O'Malley. That's in there. 3-1.
Yeah, went to the breaking ball there. Good confidence builder for O'Malley if he can find the zone on that slider.
At third is Kill. Mumas second. Chamberlain at first. 3-1 pitch is going to be down for ball 4. And for the second time today, Sawyer Farr has walked in a run. It is now 7-3 Santa Barbara. 4 runs in the 8th, and they have batted around. The inning started with Caleb Hoover with a double down the right field line, and this man, Keithley, as it stands, plated the winning run, came into pinch run, and he will now hit for the first time today.
Yeah, you bat around the order, but it's the 10th batter, technically, of the inning.
True.
10th different player to hit a ball for Santa Barbara.
Keithley on the first pitch will take a slider for a strike, 0-1.
Keithley been pretty solid this season, 300 batting average. Effective base runner, as we know and we've seen so far.
Here comes 0-1. And that's in there, another slider, 0-2 as O'Malley. The first time in a number of batters is ahead in the count. But the story of this inning, of course, it was that leadoff double for Hoover to set the table. But 5 walks from Santa Barbara. Been able to bring home a number of walks, number of runs on walks as the 0-2 is chopped foul. Means 0-2.
Job by Keith not going down on 3 consecutive pitches, staying alive in the count, looking to extend the inning.
And we talked about earlier for Santa Barbara, their on-base percentage entering this game, .449. And all the walks, all the hits. So good, this team, passing the bat around. 0-2. Gets past the catcher from third base. Coming in to score is Chamberlain, and Santa Barbara bring home their 4th run of this inning.
That might have been Boomaw that came around there.
Rather, yes, clerical error on my end. Moomaw, it's the 5th run of the inning.
It's easy to lose track of them, Hunter.
1-2 is down. 2-2.
I'm just really surprised, you know. It feels almost as if now a 5-run difference. It feels as if the Riptide have just given up.
And on the ball that got past Crondell. 2nd and 3rd, 2 away, and Keithley now see the 2-2 pitch. Down the right field line and slicing towards the Forster bullpen. It remains 2-2.
And it's just so demoralizing. You know, you've crawled back into the game. You had a couple of opportunities where you felt you maybe should have taken the lead. And then out of nowhere, it feels like you bring in the new arm and the Foresters just out of nowhere score 5 runs. And just like that's a 5-run game.
2-2 pitch is down for ball 3.
Even then, like, I feel like you can get out of the inning here, get ahead 0-2, but Keithley's full. Base is open, but just got to get out of the inning if you're the Riptide and just try and beat some LA traffic on the drive back to Irvine.
And Keithley hitting for the first time today. After running for Hoover, ends up plating first up the 5 runs. It's 3-2. Check swing, but he went around, strikes out, and he will be retired at first base to retire to the side. But Santa Barbara, 5 runs in the 8th. We head to the 9th. They lead 8-3 over OC.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Now batting number 25.
Into the ninth inning, a couple changes for Santa Barbara. First and foremost, new arm entering for the Sturs, making his debut. Ethan O'Neill looked to close out this game, and also now in left field is Terrence Kill. So 2 changes defensively for Santa Barbara.
Which puts Ethan O'Neill in his debut game into the lineup technically as a 7-hole hitter, as Bill Pintard pointed out to us. He came over here to let us know of the changes. But, Ethan O'Neill used to high leverage situations. It looked like at one point this might have been a high leverage situation, but instead, 5-run cushion. The 6'5" righty works as the closer at the University of Nevada out in the Mountain West.
Here's a first pitch at 92 to Riley Hunsaker. So it's 9-1-2 scheduled. Hunsaker, Salmon, and Holland scheduled in this inning for OC. Entering the bottom of the 8th, we were tied at 3, but 5 runs in the inning for Santa Barbara. Big rip on the high fastball, 1-1 for Riley Hunsaker, who today has gone 0 for 2, struck out twice, and rolled into a fielder's choice back in the 4th.
And that's what you're going to see from O'Neill, is a lot of swings and misses. Had a very high strikeout rate with the Wolfpack.
1-1, misses upstairs, ball 2. And we have seen, O'Neill and then Jaden Barfield, 2 pitchers making their debuts today. And Barfield is in line for this victory, who went 6 up, 6 down. Here's the 2-1, and that's going to miss inside at 93, buzzing the tower, 3-1.
Yeah, really impressive from Barfield. As you mentioned, two perfect innings. Strikeout looking, strikeout swinging.
And O'Neill, 3-1 pitch, big swing again, another high fastball from Ethan. Count now full to the leadoff man.
And O'Neill, very successful as Nevada's closer and is a redshirt junior. It's all Mountain West second team. Had a career high 8 saves this past year.
3-2 pitch, misses upstairs, and Riley Hunsaker is aboard. A lead-off walk to start the 9th. And that's going to bring up Jack Salmon to hit for the first time today. Remember, Bradley Navarro had to get pulled out of the game in left field a couple innings back, and Salmon to hit for the first time. Man on, nobody out. And Sam's going to take a first pitch down for ball 1.
Salmon struggled a bit to start the year, only hitting 188. Had 3 strikeouts in his last game on Sunday against the Barons. But he's got some good pop. All of his hits have found the gap for doubles.
A man who this past year played with the Rainbow Warriors at the University of Hawaii. 1-0 pitch is high and away for ball 2, and recently committed to UNLV to play his senior year.
Some baseball lineage as well. He's the nephew of Tim Salmon, Angels legend.
So man at first, nobody out. And a favorable count for Salmon. 2-0 pitch is inside for ball 3, and Ethan O'Neill gave up a leadoff walk and now falls behind 3-0 to Jack Salmon. Tyler Holland will be next for Orange County. And it is a 5-0 lead. I should say a 5-run lead, leading 8-3. But you don't want to give OC any momentum, trying to bring a couple runs around. 3-0 pitch is in there at 92. Strike 1.
Exactly what O'Neill had to do, find the zone, get back in the count.
And Gardino is throwing down in that right field bullpen for Santa Barbara. He's also listed as a guy to be used if Santa Barbara got into a jam. 3-1 pitch, and Salmon sees ball 4 and 2 walks to start the inning. First and second, nobody out for Orange County.
It's tough, first game, first time pitching in a bit. And gives up first 2 batters, lets them on base for free. And that's always tough to do, but, O'Neill's a resilient guy. He's bounced around a lot. Played some ball at the College of Southern Nevada. Previously was at UNLV, and a Nevada native. It's a new setting for him here in Santa Barbara, and takes some time to adjust always to stuff like this. And for him, someone who hasn't been in a live game setting in a long time.
And we've talked about that with just any guys, especially when the season started for any team. Your college season ends a couple weeks ago, or you're either not playing as much with your current team, then you come in and you either have to hit, seeing live pitching for the first time, or throw. It's a bit of an adjustment just to get back up to game speed and get the engine warmed up again, so to speak.
But as we mentioned, he's used to these high leverage situations. He was the closer for 2 years at a very solid baseball program and a very solid baseball conference. He can handle the pressure.
First and second, nobody out for Tyler Holland. 5-run lead for Santa Barbara. First pitch is right down the middle at 92.
And that's exactly what you needed to do. Just attack the zone. Tell yourself, hey, I can throw strikes.
Holland today has reached twice via walks. And other than that, a pair of flyouts, one to right, one to center. O'Neill, 0-1 pitch. A drive into left center field, and that ball is down. Here comes Mandino, scoops up, but from second, Hunsaker will score. It's going to be an RBI single for Tyler Holland. And OC make it a 4-run game in the 9th.
Found the gap. And Holland now taking advantage of it. There's runners on first and second. Gardino definitely starting to pick up his warm-up.
Nobody out but a run in, and it's now Jake Evans, the number 3 batter for Orange County. First pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-1. Evans today, he's gone 0 for 3. Has reached via a walk, scored a run. But one thing, OC is able to load up the bases, bring the tying run to the plate. Looking for the first out here in the 9th. 0-1. That is down, another breaking ball, 1-1. It's the first run for OC since the 4th inning. 1 run in the first, 2 in the 4th. Now 1 tally in the 9th. 8-4 the Santa Barbara lead. Comes the 1-1 pitch. High fastball, ball 2.
Have to settle in here. It's get a ground ball, trust your defense to do its job.
Third base open. Nobody out. 2-1 pitch. And it's going to hit him. Evans gets hit on the left shoulder to load up the bases, and that's going to bring the tying run to the plate in the 9th for Orange County.
Bases loaded, nobody out in the top of the 9th. This game has been a nail biter for most of its duration, and the OC Riptide leaving it to no different here in the top of the 9th.
The batter is Johnny Rodriguez. In case you're wondering, he does have a home run this year. There have been 3 home runs recorded by Orange County this year. And the former Forester stands in representing the tying run in the 9th. We'll take a first pitch strike at 92. You just got to take it one at a time for Ethan O'Neill. Obviously, trust your defense. Get a ground ball. Try to get 2 out.
You have to say you'd have it no other way with the former Stir bases loaded.
0-1. Sprayed over the third base dugout, out of play. That is strike 2 for Rodriguez. At third is Salmon. Holland at second. Jake Evans, who was just hit by a pitch, just brought to us by our friends at Alta Orthopedics, is at first. But the infield at double play depth, Easton Muma at third is pinched in a fraction. Tying run at the plate for Orange County. 0-2 pitch. Fastball high, ball 1.
Had a pitch to give, try to get him on the high heat. It's always so tempting to swing at that as the batter, but Rodriguez not fooled, and now Chamberlain having a quick discussion. This pitcher maybe looking to change something up with the runners. Second, getting an extended view of their signs.
And after Santa Barbara put up 5 runs in the 8th, the first 4 men have all reached base for Orange County in this inning. Nobody out. Ethan O'Neill is ahead. A ball and 2 strikes against Johnny Rodriguez. And a long hold. Rodriguez today, he does have an extra base hit. Good for 2 bags. Back in the 5th, a leadoff double. He's 1 for 3. He's also been hit by a pitch. 1-2. Swing and a miss. That gets away from Chamberlain. They're coming home. The play at the plate. They're going to score a run. Rodriguez will be retired. 1 out in the inning. But from third, Salmon comes in to score. It is now an 8-5 Forester lead.
Crucially, that is the first out, and you still have some buffer, but now more than ever, you just need to get outs. There's 2 in scoring position. A big first out, but definitely need a little more now.
No double play in effect at first base to open, and Reed Montgomery, who has gone 1 for 4. And rather, it's a pinch hitter now. First pitch is fouled off for strike number 1. Luke Johnson to hit for Montgomery for the first time today.
Power bat plays his college ball over in upstate New York at Cornell. And 4 home runs for the Big Red in Ivy League play.
Representing the tying run at the plate. Comes the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fooled there. Strike 2.
Well, that's also something that he does a lot. Strike out. He struck out 9 times this season, the most on the Riptides.
All in at third. Evans at second. But right now, Johnson behind 0-2, representing the tying run in the 9th. 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Gets past Chamberlain. Good deflection off the backstop. Runners hold.
Very fortunate deflection at the backstop.
It is now 1-2. With that pitch down in the dirt, Chamberlain and O'Neill looking to get on the same page, just needing 2 more outs, taking it 1 pitch at a time.
Something you got to tell yourself is it doesn't matter what the guys on base are doing right now. All your attention has to be on the hitter. Those runs do not matter. That's the one that matters right there at the plate.
Ball and 2 strikes. And Luke Johnson sees the 1-2 pitch. Popped up. Maybe a chance for far and foul ground, but it looks like it's going to be Chamberlain, and he can't make the catch out of picture frame. That was inches from hitting the chain link fence. That ball's nearly coming down vertical, and you can't get under it. Nearly an impossible play, and it remains 1-2.
Nearly an impossible play. It felt like it was an impossible play. Really tough one to get if you're Chamberlain, and you don't want to be running into the fence right there.
That ball's inches falling vertically right next to the chain link to the right of the plate. So it remains 1-2 for Johnson. O'Neill, 1-2 pitch. It's going to hit him at 91 miles an hour. That's going to load up the bases and put the tying run on base to bring up Zach Crandall. A 3-run lead for Santa Barbara. It was a 5-run lead entering this inning. And now Zach Crandall, the catcher, who's gone 1 for 4 today, representing the go-ahead run at the plate. First pitch on the outside edge.
Just have to stay ahead here. Infielder, middle of the infield, that double play depth. Looking to turn 2.
Can O'Neill get a ground ball? 0-1. That's down and skips past the catcher from third base. The runner's coming in, and Tyler Holland plates the 6th run of the ball game. The lead is now 2 for Santa Barbara.
Every runner on has advanced because of wild pitches.
And the tying run now in scoring position. Second and third. Only a single out. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Crandall, a drive into center field. Well hit, going back, and Maddox can't make the squeeze. Evans scores. In comes Johnson. We are tied at 8 in the 9th. All the way down to second base goes Zach Crandall. 5 runs for OC in the 9th inning to tie us at 8.
Bill Pintard out of a dugout, and that appears to be Ethan O'Neill's day. A really, really tough debut. Really, really unfortunate debut. A couple of unlucky plays. And, you know, the Riptide, they've played in a couple of close games this season. They have a flair for the theatrics. Tonight is no different. 5 unanswered, 5 runs in the 8th, 5 runs in the 9th. That'll bring in Andrew Guardino.
We'll step aside. New Arm tied ball game, 1 out in the 9th.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Orange County have plated 5 runs in the 9th inning. They were trailing 8-3 and is now 8-all. And the new arm entering for Santa Barbara will be Andrew Guardino, and he will face the number 7 batter Carter Dans. The go-ahead run in scoring position, only a single out in the 9th.
Yeah, big moment here. Guardino coming into it. He's come into some crunches before, and he's gotten out of them. Great strikeout pitcher.
So Carter Dans today's gone 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. First pitch Well hit into left. Terrence Kill is out there. Makes the squeeze. The runner will hold. There's the second out in the 9th.
Big second out at that.
That will now bring up the 9th batter, I should say, of this inning, Marcos Rosales.
What are we watching, the Foresters? 9 batter innings. A deja vu here for Santa Barbara. Something to note, I think, has to be brought up. There are no lights at Eddie Matthews Field. The lights have turned on at the football stadium across the outfield. Something to keep note of.
Go ahead run at second, 2 gone. And Gardino gets the first out against the man he faces, the second out of the inning. First pitch in there for a strike against Rosales, 0-1. In case you're wondering, the Sturs are going to have Klepp, Cerulli, and Mandino. That is 8-9-1 scheduled. Bottom of the 9th. Will it be tied or will they be trailing? Comes the 0-1. That's going to be a called strike. 0-2. Good spot for Gardino.
Great spot for Gardino. Salas thought that was going to get him. Instead, just clips the zone.
5 runs in for Orange County to tie us at 8. 2 away. And Gardino. The 0-2 pitch. And that's going to miss away, ball 1.
Had some pitches to give here, but if I'm Gardino, I'm just trying to get out of this as soon as I can.
Approaching 8 o'clock local time. And Gardino entered in this inning in relief. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Rosales goes down looking. And we're going to the bottom of the 9th. We are tied at 8. Santa Barbara have Klepp, Cerulli, Mandino coming up next.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Into the bottom of the 9th inning, Santa Barbara put up 5 runs in the 8th. Orange County, 5 runs in the top half of this inning. And a new arm is entering, a man who was batting 9th and in right field. Riley Hunsaker will now pitch. The lefty reliever will face 8, 9, and 1 scheduled. First pitch, check swing, but a called strike on Addison Klepp, 0-1.
Hunsaker, guy who mainly does work as a pitcher for the Riptide. He struggled a bit to start the season, though. 10.12 ERA, has allowed 5 hits, a couple of walks.
And here comes the 1-1. Big swing. 1 and 2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And that is down for ball 2. So for Santa Barbara, tied at 8. Can get a man on base. But working quick. The 2-2 will miss inside from Riley Hunsaker.
Yeah.
Full count.
Hunsaker working with a 3-pitch mix. Fastball that touches 90, a slider, and then a splitter.
3-2 pitch into center field. Montgomery is there and will make the squeeze. 1 out in the 9th.
Got some good bat on that ball, but just went straight to the center fielder. Easy routine play for the Riptide defense. Goes down as a line out. A tough one to swallow at that.
And it looks like Jack Salmon's now in right field, and in left is Luke Johnson. But now 1 out in the inning. First pitch to Easton Ruley is going to miss away for ball 1. Easton today has gone 0 for 4. Run to a fielder's choice, ground out to second. The 1-0 is in there. 1-1. He is struck out and ground out to short.
But if his college career is anything to tell you, he is a hitter. OPS above 1,000.
1-1 got knotted up, able to lay off of it for ball 2.
Slugging a .650. Hit 8 home runs at Central Arizona for the Vaqueros.
Two and 1 the count. Mandino would be next, is next for Santa Barbara. Only a single out. 2-1 pitch. That's away for ball 3.
Sager's only had a couple of walks this year, so he's job controlling his pitches, but don't want to get this guy on.
3-1, a massive swing from Ruley. Full count. Massive cut from the second baseman. Full count. 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Ruley's going to go down looking 2 out in the 9th.
Overheard our analytics department. Miles say that is the worst call he's ever seen. Very outside. Very low. Tough miss.
Here's now Mandino. First pitch down for ball 1. Into the 10th. OC Riptide have 9, 1, and 2 scheduled. Comes the 1-0 pitch to Maddox. And that's going to be down for ball 2. Maddox, he does have 2 hits last 2 times he stood up. Got 2 for 5 today, standing in for the 6th time.
Got good contact on that first one. Very easily should have been a double if he didn't trip on the bag.
2-2's down. That is ball 3. If Maddox can reach, Terrence Kill will be next. But it's now 3-0 for Mandino. That's going to miss upstairs. Ball winning run now on base for Santa Barbara.
Now, here's something to note as well. If they call the game in the 9th inning before this inning is over, that means the top of the 9th didn't even happen. That's something we got told in Arroyo Seco, which means 5 runs are off the board for OC. Sure, that's something in the back of the umpire's mind. They just want to get out of this inning. So if you're Santa Barbara, just pass the bats, singles, walks.
It's now Kill. First pitch right down the middle for strike 1. And what a wild run it has been since the 8th. 5 runs for Santa Barbara, bottom half of the inning. 5 for OC, top half of this inning. 0-1 pitch is spread over the first base dugout for strike 2. Mandino representing the winning run at first base. And you have to imagine with Kill, if he's able to put a ball in the gap. Granted, he's down 0-2 now. Mandino, he's got the best speed on this team. 0-2 pitch. That is down, ball 1. But sunlight will be fading fast. 8:05 local time. No lights here at Eddie Matthews Field. And Terrence Kill today has 2 knocks. 1-2 now the count. The man who started this game as the DH. 1-2 pitch. There goes Mandino. It's in there, but down to second base. Maddox is in safely. 2-2. It looks like the home plate umpire is going to call a strike.
It looked like he was going to. I full on thought that he was going to call it, and he didn't. And the OC dugout is livid, and it looks like the home plate ump's going to have a quick word with him.
And I initially thought it was called strike 3, and Maddox did get down to second base. So Mandino representing the winning run and a base hit for Terrence Kill to win it for Santa Barbara.
An outfield hit, I'd call it. I don't know if an infield hit scores the runner here. If you can find a gap in the outfield, that's game.
It's 2-2. Mandino at second representing the winning run. 2-2 pitch. That is down, full count. Next would be Easton Mumaw. And Riley Hunsaker started this game in right field, trying to take OC to the 10th. 3-2 pitch. Popped up and behind where we're sitting out of play remains 3-2.
Zone's been all over the place today, and Kill's not taking chances on the 3-2.
Can TK bring home Mandino? 3-2 pitch. There goes Maddox. It's on the ground right side. Tough play for Rosales. The throw to first. Not in time. They're coming out. The Stars win. Mandino from second scores, and Terrence Kill walks off Santa Barbara in the 9th.
That's the game! Your Santa Barbara Foresters beat the OC Riptide in a score of 9-8.
What a day, and what an 8th and 9th inning for Santa Barbara. I don't think you could have drawn up those last 2 innings. 11 runs between the bottom of the 8th and the bottom of the 9th.
You know, this is a Santa Barbara Foresters team that hasn't really experienced a game like this. One where it's tied the entire time, and then you go into the 8th, you get 5 runs, and then you give up 5 runs in the next top of the 9th inning. It wasn't even a close situation, a save situation. And the lineup comes up again. It gets down to its final out. Maddox Mandino gets on a walk. Aggressive base running pays off to second, and Kill on an infield single. We've seen the Riptide defense get tied up on plays all game, kind of confused on where the ball should go. Who should I throw it to? What should I do? And it happens at the biggest moment. Mandino's speed gets him home. That's the first walk-off win of the summer.
Unbelievable wild ride to end out this game.
And not even that, just what a day for Terrence Kill. First hit of the day with the double, scores the first run. Gets another hit, middle of the game, they couldn't score him home though when he steals a base and reaches. Scores a run lasting on a walk, and then just packs it up. Down to the final out.
Down to the final strike as well. What a day for Santa Barbara, and Andrew Gardino is going to pick up the win. Came in the 9th, recorded the last 2 outs, and the Santa Barbara Foresters walk off OC Riptide. Final score 9-8, and the Stars will be back in action the rest of the week here at home at Eddie Matthews Field to host the Waves tomorrow and also on Friday. And what a day to be a Santa Barbara Forester fan. Once again, final score 9-8, a walk-off win thanks to Terrence Kill. We'll see you tomorrow for more Forester baseball. For the entire team, the entire staff, for Nate Martin, I am Hunter Schmink saying so long from Santa Barbara. We'll see you tomorrow.